All right, hello everybody. Hello everybody. Let me just begin everything a second to make sure we're good. I think we are live. Hello everyone and welcome to Honey Heist: Journey to Bearovia, courtesy of the rCurseOfStrahd subreddit. I'm your game master, or in this case, bear wrangler, Dragnacarta. You might know me from Curse of Strahd Reloaded or the Curse of Strahd Reddit or Discord. And welcome to today's game, quite like Curse of Strahd, except for all the ways in which it is not. A game called Honey Heist. Instead of blood-sucking vampires, you see, today's game will follow the misadventures of 5 honey-chasing bears in Bearovia. Or by the time they're done, Bearovia. As we follow 5 bears with suspiciously similar names and features to actual Curse of Strahd NPCs on the greatest heist of all time. In this adventure, our sneaky squad of Ursines is going to undertake the greatest heist of honey that Bearovia and all of the demi-planes of Dread have ever seen. Each of today's players, who will introduce themselves shortly, are themselves a real-life Curse of Strahd DM, and it is their brilliant criminal enterprise that we'll be following today, or at least to see it go up in glorious, crazy, blazing smoke. A quick note, if you look on the left side portrait of the screen, you'll see my little top-hatted, stylish bat avatar there. This picture will change based on who is speaking at the time. I know we're not using live webcams, but you will be able to see who is speaking as which character based on which picture is in the portrait. Major shout out to Zeoplayukas, our producer, for getting that Discord script set up. So, with that, let's jump in real quick into our game system. Instead of Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition today, we are playing Honey Heist. It is a free one-page role-playing game by TTRPG developer Grant Howitt. Instead of playing as an adventurer, everyone plays as a criminal bear. 2 things to bear in mind. First, you have a complex plan, that is, our team does, that requires precise timing. And second, they are a team of goddamn bears. Each of our characters will have 2 stats, criminal and bear. Just a quick briefing on the rules for anyone who might not be familiar with the system. Their bear stat is used to maul stuff, run and climb, shrug off damage, scare people, and other bear necessities. The criminal stat is used to do pretty much anything not directly related to being a bear. Pretty broad strokes there. Both of these stats start at 3. To see if someone succeeds at something, they can, well, roll a d6 and check the result. This is a d6 system. If the result is less than or equal to their bear stat, they succeed, otherwise they fail. The same is true for criminal-related rolls or bear-related rolls, depending on what you're rolling for. So, both of these stats can change during the course of the game. When things get crazy and plans start failing, a player will have to move 1 point from criminal into bear, and when the plan goes off smoother than Strahd's personal stash of honey, you can move 1 point from bear into criminal. The players can also change the stats by themselves with sufficient opportunities. They can voluntarily move 1 point from bear into criminal by doing a cool noir-esque flashback scene where they and their bear pals spend some quality time planning out this epic heist in the back room of a seedy tavern. They can also voluntarily move 1 point from criminal into bear by eating a big old paw full of honey, assuming they find one. But do be careful, if their criminal stat ever reaches 6, that player will be automatically lured into a life of crime, causing them to betray the party and take off on their own, possibly to become the new Dark Lord of a Ravenloft demi-plane full of spoiled honey. And if their bear stat ever reaches 6, they will automatically flip out like a crazy barbarian and absolutely lose their shit. So, to the players, be careful how you handle those stat points. Finally, before we get started, for those who are not already aware, the cast of today's Honey Heist will also be starring in Twice Bitten, a 100% rules-as-written Curse of Strahd live-streamed campaign run by yours truly and played by, as mentioned, a party entirely comprised of former and current Curse of Strahd DMs. It'll be run and played in a pretty role-play-heavy, character-driven style and should be a heck of a lot of fun, especially if you're a viewer who've already played or run through Curse of Strahd yourself, or even if you're a newcomer and have no idea what Curse of Strahd is. The first episode will be airing live weekly on Saturdays at 1 p.m. Eastern, same time as now, starting on Saturday, August 8th. The episode's available on the r/CurseOfStrahd Twitch, and YouTube channels, so make sure to check those out. So, with that said, now that we've all got our bearings, I think we're finally about ready to jump into this rip-roaring adventure. So, let's have everyone introduce themselves, give out their name, and what character they'll be playing. So, starting from the top, let's start with Linus. Who are you, and who are you playing today?
Hello, I'm Linus, and today I'm going to be playing as Fuzzmerelda, the slick, climbing Carmen Sandiego of the Ursine world. She's in this for the challenge, and also to find her mentor, Rudolph Van Bruin. Check your pockets. While I've distracted you with this intro, she stole one lucky viewer's wallet.
All right. Do PM us on the Discord for that wallet. We might give it back if you offer enough honey. Next up, Serena, how about you introduce yourself?
I am going to be playing the rookie, Iworna Kowalna. She spent more time avoiding the attention of a very persistent would-be suitor than she has been heisting, but she's eager to leave the quote-unquote comfort of the Burgomaster's mansion and begin her criminal career. Sassy, classy, just a little bit nasty, with a fiery red chest patch, this sun bear is the face of the operation for a reason. She's just not quite sure what that reason is.
All right, perfect. Next up, Kaya. Who are you and who are you playing?
Hello, I'm Kaya, and today I am playing Father Pondovich, a short and stocky panda bear with dark circles under his eyes from too many nights staying up staring at a computer screen, and also from being a goddamn panda bear. Ironically, it is now Father Pondovich who holes up in the basement in the middle of all his hacker computer equipment, while his son rattles at the basement door, calling out, "Father, I'm starving!"
The poor boy, that poor man. Twy, how about you go next?
Hello, I'm Twy, and I am playing Viktor Volokovich, who was a disappointment to the proud Volokovich clan, at least until he discovered that he was a lot better with his brains than with his claws. And with the ice floes melting, his goal was simple: to steal enough honey to move out for good. And Viktor is a rather small for his species. Fortunately, that species is a goddamn polar bear, so he is 600 pounds of disgruntled and slightly soggy criminal mastermind.
Question, does he currently live in his parents' basement, attic, or igloo?
He's not saying. It's certainly not the basement of an igloo. That's not how that works.
All right, and finally, Jack, last but not least. Who are you and who are you playing?
I am Jack, and I am playing Bajilka, an almost 7-foot-tall abomination. She is an affront to man and the Morning Lord alike, composed of at least 75% genuine Bearovian honey badger, sutured, stapled, and woven into pieces of dead wolf, gator, deer, and Kresgians. This hulking, slobbering monstrosity is barely contained by an ill-fitting, soiled, and tattered white wedding dress, and her lumbering posture causes her claws to scrape against the floor as she moves in closer to sniff one of you.
All right, and so, with that, you've met the cast. Now it's time to meet the heist. So, let's get started, shall we? Under raging storm clouds, the ancient walls of Castle Ravenloft stand tall and proud. The spires of the keep's dark towers overshadow the misted land far below. Rumbling thunder pounds the castle rooftops, and the wind's howl intensifies. A flash of lightning illuminates the highest tower's peak, and utterly fails to illuminate a familiar gaunt silhouette. For tonight, you see Count Strahd von Zarevich, the legendary vampire, Lord of Bearovia, renowned goth and eternal drama queen extraordinaire, is not standing angstily atop Castle Ravenloft. As the gale shrieks through the shadowed castle corridors, it finds them, too, quite empty, for Strahd and his minions are not in Castle Ravenloft at all. Tonight, you see, is the date of a grand occasion, an event of arcane, even cosmic significance. It is, you see, the sole date when the grip of the dark powers weakens, when the mists of the demiplanes of dread recede, and when the ways between the domains of the Dark Lords allow safe passage for weary travelers. Tonight is the night of the Grand Conjunction, and any Dark Lord worth their salt is ready to schmaltz, mix, and party like there's no tomorrow. This eon, it has fallen on the fledgling domain of Bearovia to host the festivities. For such an assembly of evildoers and villains, only one venue in all the kingdom is suitable. Of course, the Amber Temple. Its corrupted halls bear the shattered remnants of dead gods, demons, and abominations before the divine. In other words, it's the perfect place for such a foul, fetid fete. The selection of the Amber Temple has special significance as well, you see. For as long as the Grand Conjunction has taken place, the Dark Lords of the Demi-Plan have held it to be true that its cause can be credited to a great cosmic honeybee, which spends the entirety of this 24-hour period stinging, biting, and generally pissing off the dark powers of the Shadowfell. It is in this bee's honor that the greatest delicacy of the event is offered: honey. Delicious, beautiful, amber-colored honey, produced in the legendary hives of Berez and sweetened by the Wizards of Winery itself. Tons and tons and tons of it. And that, of course, is why you are here. We pan down through a lengthy mountain range, through gray clouds swollen with snow and moisture, as wintry gales sweep through the mountain peaks of Mount Gacchus. We focus our attentions upon an outcropping of cliff, overlooks the space below. From the side of the bluff, you can see, looking down, a large structure, driven and forged from the mountainside itself of several amber giants, each one in the shape of a massive bee, peering out from the columns once they are carved. You can see a number of small figures dotting the area outside of the temple. But for now, as you stand upon this snowy cliff overlooking the temple facade, below you, the endless ranks of pine trees and evergreens dusted with snow. The five of you sit for a moment waiting. Your contact is en route, but it seems that she's not yet arrived. What are you all doing?
Bajilka sees a moth and she's trying to play with it. She's going up, and obviously she's far too big to, and she doesn't have thumbs, so she can't really scoop the moth up as much as she just kind of smashes it and becomes disappointed by it. And she shows the moth in her palm to everybody else. Has this very disappointed look on her face.
There, dear. You did a great job. It's just, you'll have to play with bigger animals. It's not a big deal. And
No, see, Bajilka, you want to squash the ones that are yellow, and have little stingies coming out the end.
I really don't think we should be killing anyone. Are we killing people on this mission?
Did you not read the briefing? I sent it to everyone. That's like on page 4.
There was a briefing. I think I left it at home. Damn.
Naturally. All right. It'll be fine.
You sent it as a docx. It should have been a PDF.
Look, don't lecture me about my file formats, okay? We only have a really old computer in the basement. I do what I can. But yes, you are not going to be needing to kill anyone, Arona. You are here for a different reason. You're fine.
Face! And I just palm her in the face.
Ow! Okay. Okay, I trust you guys. I just, this all seems a little bit, intense for me. I'm not really, used to this sort of stuff.
It will come naturally after a few you get in, you coast the hallways, you snipe a few honey from people's pockets, and then you just get into the zone. Ah, it feels so good.
The zone. Zone.
Meanwhile, crunching on bamboo. Crunch.
Do you have any more of that? I'm a little hungry.
I am sorry. Most of it I left at home for my son.
Ivorna just looks really sad and then goes and plays with Bajilka instead.
And yeah,
All right.
Bajilka and Aurora are just kind of, I guess, frolicking through this little field area.
Fully frolicking.
Victor is digging down while murmuring something about Doc X. I'll show you a Doc X. How dare you? But
As Victor bubbles and mumbles, and as the others frolic or munch, as they are wont to do, you hear a rustling from the underbrush nearby, echoing between the trunks of the pine trees, the steady crunch of snow. Something's coming.
everybody, quiet.
Ivorna's gonna look around, and she's a little panicked looking for a sun bear because she's not sure if it's the contact or if it's someone else.
It is probably the contact. We have nothing to be scared of.
Serene crunching.
It's at that moment when you hear a roar echo from the tree line, and several flocks of ravens go swooping up in alarm, and you hear a voice echoing, "Ah, fuck shit, damn it, ah!" A moment later, you see stumbling out of the underbrush a large grizzly bear, eyes focused, or at least previously focused, as it now stumbles a bit, nursing one of its paws as one of its claws twitches a little bit, seeming to throb. You see that the bear's eyes rolled back, and her, as you notice it is a female grizzly, nostrils flare as she puffs out and swoops a small tuft of fur colored blue from her eyes. Damn it, fucking, I didn't see the goddamn rock. She blinks and looks up. Oh.
Afternoon.
You recognize this individual. You have met her once before you encountered this job opportunity. This is Molly L. Vinclaw.
Bajilka sits up from the snow angels that she was making and waves very excitedly.
Molly L. mumbles another curse and then stumbles forward, trying to avoid stepping too much on her injured paw. Well, hell. Looks like all the gang's here. I take it you got my missive, did you?
We did. Although, really should use a different file format. I mean, honestly, who uses carrier ravens these days?
Excuse you, I happen to have a very solid connection with them carrier ravens.
PDF.
I got a 4-page briefing and a missive, and I dragged them both into the recycling bin, and then I dragged the recycling bin into the trash.
That is very disrespectful. But you know how much time I had my intern spend on that missive?
I do not know how much time.
Well, truth be told, I don't either. I wasn't really paying attention. But I think he worked very hard on it, so you should be more respectful.
My son nearly ate the raven.
Do not eat the ravens. They are personnel. Thank you. They are not paid, but they are respected members of this organization.
Tasty
No.
too.
Do not. I said it. They are personnel. Do we want to take? I'm dealing with amateurs here. All right. So listen up. Y'all ain't full-time members of the Keepers of the Paw yet, but if this job goes well, we might be able to talk about it. So, you're all here. I'm ready to go for this little mission of ours, this little infiltration. She points a large paw down at the facade of the temple below, where you can already see a few dots and silhouettes of smaller figures beginning to enter it from the front. So, assuming you're all ready to get this show on the road, here's what you're doing today. Or here's what we need to know. We are retrieving the motherlode of Honey. As you might know, due to the activities of the Cosmic Bee, the Dark Powers have given some of these little villain types a little bit of runaround, a little bit of socializing. They're going to schmaltz with each other. And for that, they got a hay of a lot of honey put up for dessert. Now, it is our means to obtain that honey, to both use it for rations and for the continued funding of the Keepers of the Paw as we continue our clandestine activities. But to that, we will need your assistance to retrieve the honey and return it. Or rather, reappropriate it, I should say.
Honey!
She blinks and then turns to the others. Is she always quite so,
She is
excitable?
enthusiastic.
She's different. It's fine.
Right. So, with that, here's what we know about where that honey's being stored, and there is quite a lot of it, I assure you. The honey is being stored in the rear lower vaults of the temple in the main treasury. You can access it technically via the front temple chamber, but that is under high lock and key, guarded at all times by pretty much everyone in the room, and short of summoning a minor deity, you ain't getting inside that way. But there's a back door. You can access the rear entrance to the treasury, which is under much less security, via the back rooms. That's where the temple owner, Exathanta, lives. Now, you'll have to slip past the guests, gain access, of course. And once you get to the entrance to the vault, you still got to deal with the security mechanism. As far as we know, it is top secret, and we have not been able to glean its identity. We did have a Keepers of the Paw contact named by the name of Quilnius. He was meant to find a way to circumvent this mechanism, but we've not heard back from him in hours. So, unfortunately, it falls to you to determine the nature of this mechanism and find a way to get past it. So,
Well, that's what we're here for.
absolutely, that's what we call all you veterans here for. When you need the best, you get the best. You see her like turn to the side and mumble something to herself. You can't quite hear it, but it's something along the lines of flattering some goddamn amateurs. Then she turns back to you, coughing loudly. So, from the top, here's what your mission assignments are. First, gain access to the Amber Temple, the location of the Amber Gala. Then, steal the Amber Honey from the treasury of the temple during the Amber Gala before it is consumed. Then, if you're able, rescue the Keepers of the Paw contact, Quilnius, from inside the temple. This is important, not only because we'd like to have our man set back free, but because he has with him the key to your getaway car. It'll be a bit flashy, but without that contact, you ain't getting out of here alive tonight. Not with that much honey. You're gonna need a fair bit of muscle to carry it all out. So, find Elias, get the ticket, and then once you're able to rendezvous with the driver, once you have the honey under lock and key, get the hay out of there and I'll meet you by the peak. Any questions?
So you mentioned Exithanter. I've heard rumors that he is none other than a bitch.
That is a little bit true, but if you're able to sneak past him or get acquainted with some of his unique sensibilities, data analytics indicate that you might have a means of getting through. Stealth or social, whatever you choose, just make sure that he does not see means to feel offended should you fall upon him.
Can I see
Moreover,
this
be
data?
careful with... the data is classified, my dear, but I assure you, it is all validated and all up to snuff.
Bajilka sheepishly raises her arm.
Yes, Bajilka. She looks a little bit surprised. She no longer looks surprised.
Honey. Honey?
Yes, my dear, there will be honey. Should the mission be pulled off successfully, it will be a part of your payment.
Irorna also sheepishly raises her arm.
Yes.
So I'm just a little confused, what I'm doing here.
You are the circumnavigator of any more interpersonal obstacles the crew might face. We can't be sure of the security mechanisms, but you can bet that there will be folks amongst that gala that may try to halt you, stall you, or whisk you away to a place other than the mission. You will need to lie, cheat, and deceive your way past any guards, whether they are aware of your potential proclivities or not. I assure you, that party is a party, and you will need to make your way through as best you can.
She turns to the others and says, how do you lie convincingly?
Molly honestly frowns. Oh, wait, damn it, I forgot. Y'all ain't werebears, are you? You're just regular damn bears.
Yeah.
Bears are real?
That's classified information. She kind of coughs very surreptitiously. But y'all probably won't be able to vocalize entirely. Just kind of do your best impression. A few gurgles, a little bit of a roar or a snarl, and what sounds like common. Do your best.
Bajilka snaps her claws, and in her own way, would like to do a flashback.
Ooh.
All right. What is Bajilka's flashback?
So at some point, they had got together at the Abbey of St. Markovia, and knowing that there would be some kind of heist involved, or some kind of something that would require everyone's skill set in infiltration, Bajilka ended up stealing human faces for everybody that the abbot just kind of had in stock.
My God.
Flashback to the present. Actually, quick question. Where did you locate those human faces? And how did you get them without the abbot noticing?
Well, I know where he keeps most of his body parts. He has them in different cabinets and trunks, and they're all neatly labeled because he is very anal. He has like a P-touch that he labels everything with. And so I know how to read, and I know where he puts faces because I watch him. So I did my best to stealthily, as he was working on some other project, move in and steal them.
All right. Flashback to the present. As Bajilka sheepishly pulls out a small satchel of human faces and may move 1 point from Baron to criminal.
How many people did you... you know what? I don't ask questions. This is not my job. This is not... Thank you. I appreciate your contribution to the team. It's a lovely... Victor kind of steps off to the corner for a bit and hyperventilates.
They all have hair on them, just so you all know. So you don't have to worry about wigs.
Irorna's gonna take one with a really nice head of red hair and put it on and turn to Fuzmerelda and ask how it looks. Not that she cares about her opinion or anything, it's just a question.
It looks absolutely horrible. I mean, there's no fur anywhere. It's just bare cheeks. I mean, non-bare cheeks. So you'll blend in perfectly. Is that...
Thanks. That's really nice of you.
I can tell that you're a bit anxious about this.
Yeah, I haven't really spent a lot of time outside of my bedroom, and so I guess this is all a little new to me.
I've heard that you have a skill that none of us can replicate, which is the ability to detect honey.
Oh yeah, I'm really good at detecting honey. It's like the one thing I can do really, really well.
Can you feel it even from here?
Oh yeah, I've been like twitching nervously since we got here, and usually that's what happens when I sense honey. And also when I'm not sensing honey, I also twitch a little.
Maliel eyes the array of degloved human faces with a small bit of... There's a lot of emotions playing across her face right now, let's just say that. She finally rubs her forehead with claws. Lets out an ouch as she realizes that she has claws and accidentally pokes her eye with it. Then just pulls her little blue streak of puffed hair back out of her face and groans. I guess this is what I get for going on Craigslist. All right, so with that, these might be an aid to you to get in the door. God knows all of these villains tend to have really goddamn low wisdom scores. But y'all are going to need a little more than that if you want to get inside. Intelligence indicates that this is some manner of masquerade ball. So, y'all might need a few additional accessories if you're going to get in the front door undetected. She inclines her head down the hill. We can see a few small figures congregating around what appears to be a small wooden stand just outside of the front door of the temple before moving inside. Seems y'all might want to try your luck over there if you can get your paws on what they might be offering. Or if you can find a back way in, that's always on the table too. Just be cautious that you're not sticking out like a sore claw.
Huh. What's the stand selling?
Looking down from here, I would say roll for bear to see how well you can eye it.
Exciting.
From a distance.
That's going to be hard. Victor's eyesight is terrible from all those years at the computer. That is a 5. No.
Squinting, it's a bit far from here. Looking down, you can see that there are a few, small cliffs and little rocky outcroppings and boulders that you might be able to hide behind if you want to get a closer look as you approach. But for now, it's a little bit too bleary. You didn't wear your contacts today.
Knew I forgot something. All right, folks. Well, we've got a few options. Are we feeling sneaky or a bit more upfront today?
Honey!
Yes.
I'm terrible at sneaking, so maybe I can keep Bajilka with me because we're not really the sneaky types.
That would be appreciated, yes. So you're thinking we split up then?
Well, I have a voice in the back of my head saying split the party immediately because that's the best way to play this game. So I think we should follow it.
Bajilka nods.
I can be sneaky.
All right, Father. Well, in that case, I think we've got our choices. Bajilka and Irona, you hit up the front and see if you can't masquerade your way in. And the rest of us, well, let's see how well secured that back entrance is, why don't we?
Irona's gonna turn to Bajilka really quickly and just say, all right, my dad's the Bergamaster, so I have a ton of experience doing these parties and stuff. I'm really good at talking like I'm interested in what's going on. So just let me do all the talking and we'll find this honey and be out of there super fast.
Talk.
Maliel nods, looking a little bit unnerved at Bajilka, and then turns to the rest of you. Well, it looks like y'all got this pretty much under control. I've got business elsewhere to attend, but I'll meet you at the rendezvous point should you find the contact and get the vehicle and make your way out there with the honey load. Oh, and a final note of advice. When you meet up with Quilnius, do take care not to needle him too much. He's a bit prickly, if you get my drift.
Prick.
With a roll of her eyes, Maliel shoots you a bare approximation of a thumbs up, and then slowly retreats into the tree line before vanishing from sight. A moment later, you hear the sound of a wooden branch thwacking against something, another muffled curse. Damn, I did not see that goddamn branch tree getting in my face. Angry muttering and mumbling that slowly fades. That is the sound of bear paw steps. Slowly vanishes into the snow.
I thought she just told us we would never get in from the front.
I did too. But I'm going to take everything she's said tonight with a grain of salt. Like, honestly, calling us freelancers and amateurs.
I don't like salt.
Me neither, actually. It's terrible on fish.
Well, Bajilka did give us these awesome faces, so I think we have at least a little bit more of a shot than we did going in the front.
Yes, thank you for that. As long as you never tell us where you got them, please.
Bajilka would be smiling, but because her snout is now covered in this old woman's face that still has lipstick on it and like this bush of curly brown hair, the mouth of the mask just kind of moves around the muzzle in this weird kind of like grimace.
Victor does like a full body shiver and then just hastily grabs a face out of the bag.
Is there supposed to be like a masquerade component? I was thinking instead of putting another thing on, how about we just take these off?
Oh, that's brilliant. All right then. Oh, well.
If anybody questions you, just say one word. Fursuit.
Fursuit? Can you spell that for me?
It is the word fur, and then the word suit.
And can you maybe explain what you as a panda think the function of a fursuit is?
I don't know. I just read about them on the internet.
Fair enough.
Sentai.
Trust me, no one will ask follow-up questions.
For
So are you saying-
This is going to be something. Yes.
Are you saying that the giant bee that is walking into the entrance now may in fact be a person disguised as a bee instead of a giant bee?
You never know these things, apparently. Apparently there are bears that are also wares. That's worrying. Maybe there are bees that are also wares.
If I had a fursuit, it would be a unicorn for sure.
But you already have fur. Why would you put more? That would
Well,
look
sometimes
nice.
it gets cold. Misty and cold at night.
No, I can respect that. I like the cold. It's pleasant, but we're getting off topic. Ooh, we ought to get moving before the bee flies away, or we're going to be in trouble.
Fusmerelda is going to start scaling Mount Gacchus towards the temple.
All right. With that, you're able to easily start making your way down. There's a small bit of a switchback path that moves down from the snowy bluff down toward the icy plain below that leads to the facade of the Amber Temple. I presume everyone else is following?
Yes.
Yes.
Very well.
And just as an
So-
aside, as Bajilka's walking with Aurorna, when she does mention the unicorn fursuit, she lifts up her paw and projects from her forearm, like a Baraka blade, a unicorn horn. That's basically just like an arm spike, and puts it back in.
That's amazing. We're gonna have to talk about this later.
All right, and with that, you make your way down the cliffside, down to the plains below, slowly making your way, skulking, dodging between each large snow-covered boulder as the wind howls, bringing with it small flurries of icy crystalline snow, before you're able to peer out, now in closer proximity to the temple. You see the great facade of the structure built into the side of the mountain, the great sculptures of bees carved from amber, almost like frozen, glistening honey. At the entrance, you see a large, dark doorway, an opening that leads further into the temple, though, of course, it's not unpatrolled. You see right outside of the doorway, standing a slightly shorter, certainly shorter than the average humanoid, perhaps coming up a little bit above shoulder level on a bear. What appears to be a gray-furred, fox-like personage wearing a purplish cloak with long nails that kind of clack a little bit anxiously on the side. You can see big eyes kind of looking around, darting from side to side. For some reason, squinting very heavily. You can see that there appears to be a small name tag pinned onto the side of the robe that it's wearing, but you can't quite make out what the name tag reads. Beside this personage, you see, in closer detail, the wooden stand that you've previously seen from the top of the cliff. It appears to be a traveling cart of sorts, upon which stand a number of racks full of, on the right half, would appear to be a number of headbands with assorted animal ears attached to them. You see rabbit ears, you see dog ears, beagle ears, even a set of bear ears. And on the left side, a number of masks, masquerade masks in similar description. Behind the stand, you see what appears to be a large, jovial human man of pale skin wearing a colorful outfit of greens and purples, and atop his head, he wears a bright orange and red cap with a number of flouncy little peaks and a few jangling bells in the end. Atop the hat, over which you see him wearing a small headband with a pair of cat ears, perkily twitching up. You swear they wriggle a little bit every time he jovially exclaims. As you see, he is jovially exclaiming, and as you peer out, you hear, as he glances over at a number of silhouettes now approaching the temple from the side. Well, hello there, new guests of the gala. It is wonderful to see you. Please, may Blinsky buy you or provide you with some goods. Blinsky always wants you to look your best. You see the three silhouettes slowly approaching, drop the hoods on their cloaks, and you see an old, shriveled crone and two ugly-looking, middle-aged women just behind her. The cart master continues, "Oh, hello, my dears. Welcome to Blinsky Masks, where happy occasion is never far away. How can I help you?" The old lady takes a moment to survey the cart, and then glances up at the doorway to the temple, where reads in bright reddish ink upon a large sheet of parchment, "Amber Gala. Animal accoutrements and silly hats required. Best costume wins." And it's at this point that you notice, next to the number of headbands, in a large pile stacked atop the front of the cart is a large pile of a number of odd-looking hats. The old woman, you see, licks her lips and mumbles, "Yes, I think that, well, I think we should be quite all right on our own." And she kind of reaches into her purse and pulls out what appears to be a masquerade mask that has attached to it a pair of goat-like horns curling up above her head, and she kind of just cackles quietly. She takes out 2 others from her pouch and proffers them to the other 2. My dears. One of them accepts what the other one says. No, Mother, I want a hat. You promised me that we could have a hat. The mother responds, Ophalia, you're being very ungrateful. Listen to your mummy and put on your mask. No, I want a hat. You told me that if I cooked 6 children today, I could have a hat. I did. I'm sweaty. I'm covered in flour. I want a hat. The old woman's expression changes. Well, very well then. She reaches back into her purse, which you notice by now seems to be carved of stitched leather of a pale complexion, perhaps a fleshy one, and then holds out from it a small, bony skull. Small enough to fit in the palm of her hand, certainly no adult skull. Here you go, dearie, buy what you like. Ophalia squeals with joy. Oh, good, yes, I would like, this one. And she points to a particularly floppy hat colored pink and purple. Blinsky nods. But of course, my dear, I would be glad to give it to you. And the payment? Ophalia proffers the small, child-sized skull, and Blinsky accepts it gleefully. Well, thank you, my dear. This will come in quite handy for my preparations for the next occasion. And he hands over the hat, which Ophalia then happily fits upon her head. Go on ahead, Ian. The group of them nod and move away, and just as they vanish from sight, you hear the older woman glance at the smaller furry humanoid and just murmur, We're on the guest list. The fox nods and steps aside to allow them in, and they vanish into the door.
Fuzzmerelda crouches by Bajilica and points to one of the giant amber bee statues, whispering, Honey.
Honey.
Oh no.
Irona approaches the stand and is looking around at the masquerade masks, something maybe to hide the fact that the face that she's wearing is not her face.
All right, as you lumber forward, making your way. Quick question: are you making your way on 2 legs or 4?
2 legs.
All right, making your way, crunching through the snow. You make your way to the top front of the stand, and the colorful man there looks up, blinking. Oh, hello! You are a big one. Are you looking to obtain a hat or a mask for all of your happy occasion needs?
She's going to attempt to make a sound like yes, but it's probably going to come more out like yes.
The man nods. Oh, excellent, excellent. Oh, I hear that you have a bit of an accent. I do myself. It is of course that we almost bear, yes?
Bear.
Oh, very good, very good. Oh, so yes. What can I get for you? What manner of equipment would you like? What can Blinsky provide?
Is there a sort of silvery, almost like armor type masquerade mask? Something that doesn't really fit with the description of someone in a book.
Glancing over it briefly, there's not one that's, exactly someone in a book, but there are a number of different types. If you can describe it, then I'm sure that, there's probably something vaguely resembling it.
Yeah, so something that looks a little bit like, a heavy facial shield armor type mask is what she's looking for. She thinks she sees one close on the top shelf, like towards the right.
Okay, you do see one, and pulling it down, it's not quite like an armor style shield. It's more of like one of those, Greek comedy masks. But it should cover the bulk of the face.
That's the one that she'll take. And she's going to pull out of the satchel that she has with her. It's a little satchel that's shaped like a pot of honey. And she's going to pull out some nice, like coin style things that she found on the floor of the Burgomaster's mansion.
Coin style, but not coins, I'm assuming.
No, she's going to try to just put them there and see what happens. She doesn't know what money is, so this is going to be fun.
All right. You kind of clink them down, dropping them from your claws in a kind of a pitter-patter upon the cart. You hear a gasp from Blinsky as he holds one up. Oh my, I have not... This is... Oh, I expect you are not just buying for yourself today, little lady. But of course, for 1 platinum piece, you may buy whatever you like. If you have friends or family who are also coming today, if you are... or if they are, you're looking to provide for friends, do maybe some Christmas shopping, some birthday shopping, by all means, take your pick. And he kind of gestures to the hats and the masks and such all around.
Is there a equally lovely set of cat ears, maybe with like a wedding veil attached for Bajilka?
Oh, yes.
She's gonna get that.
In fact, if you'd
too.
just like to scoop up what you'd like and describe it when you get back to the crowd, I think that'd be fine.
Great. All right. She does that.
Meanwhile, Father Pondovich has been slowly trundling his way down as well, taking, periodic bites out of his stalk of bamboo, and is now nosing around the rest of the stock, specifically looking for a more child-sized vampire costume.
All right. Looking around, there unfortunately don't seem to be costumes as such. You see one mask that kind of like has, it's like an ashen face with like, 2 dark red eyes, kind of thing you might find at Hot Topic.
Okay.
But it's not really a full body or even a full facial thing.
Father Pondovich will nod and say quietly over to Irorna, I promised my son I would get him a present.
That's so sweet.
It is. Yeah. I think Victor is going to trundle down there as well. Although he is looking for something very specific, which is... He's basically like... looking for kind of like a pure white mask that obscure most of his face, make him look like a ghost.
That's on the table. You should be able to find that pretty easily. And by now, Blinsky's like, oh my, I did not know that you had such an entourage. Are you all here for the occasion?
Honey.
Yes. Although, in practice, it's probably more of just a nod and a vague guttural noise.
At that, you hear quiet muttering, and you turn and see the foxy guard turning toward you. You actually notice that on the name tag is written security. You notice him like stepping forward and squinting toward you, like blinking rapidly. I don't recognize all of you. Are you on the guest list?
Oh, well, of course we are.
Irorna is going to step forward and, in a very bear-like way, say her name. It might come out closer to something like Irina Kolyana, but, that might just be a translation issue.
What does it sound like?
Irina Kolyana.
He frowns, glances down to a small memo pad, checks his clipboard. Maybe. You seem a bit different than last I saw you, Lady Kolyana. A bit stronger. Have you been working out?
Yes.
Yes, I've been working out a bit myself as well. He kind of makes a little bit of a weird flex, and you can see that he's doing that thing where, like, in Transformers, like where Shia LaBeouf awkwardly tries to point at something and flexes his bicep and utterly fails to create a bicep. Kind of doing that.
Amazing.
It's really it's nice, isn't it? I've been working very hard on it.
Nice.
Yes, very good. And I just presume this is what your security entourage or something.
Security.
Yes, good. Well, all right, as long as you're not making any trouble. But I can't let you in without, the full shebang. I see you've made your purchases, but I'm afraid you're gonna have to be an official participant in the competition if you're gonna want to enter the gala. That means hats, masks, the whole business.
She sort of holds up her purchases and then points to the group as if to indicate, I will deliver the packages.
He kind of squints at you again, and you abruptly kind of realize that this is probably someone who wears glasses very often and is not currently wearing them. Yes, good. And of course, very good, Lady Coliana. Kind of turns muttering back to himself. So with that, you are able to obtain sufficient hats for everyone if you'd like to start turning them all out.
Okay, so she holds up her selection of hats. Obviously, guys, you don't have to wear these if you don't want them. I just sort of pick stuff that I think fits your personality. So to Victor, she hands a Fantasia Mickey style. Oh, you roll it, right? Duh, I'm an idiot.
Yes, you do. So if you will all on Foundry, apologies to those who are not able to view this, but go to the tables, drop down on the sidebar on the right. It's right next to the left of the music one. There is a hats table there. If you will roll that for me, please. All right. Father Pondovich, reaching forward, draws forth a rather handsome-looking trilby. Victor following, drawing a rather pleasant-looking fez. Esmeralda retrieves a top hat.
And for the mask, she's going to take a big rabbit mask and put it on under the human mask.
Perfect. Bajilka draws forth a simple flat cap. And what does Irorna draw?
It's a bowler.
All right. And with that, as Irorna nestles the bowler atop her fuzzy head, or rather, disturbingly fleshy head for the moment, her disguises are primed. What would you like to do?
Father Pondovich will preemptively say, "It's not a fedora."
No, that's definitely a fedora.
It's not a fedora, it's a trilby.
Whatever makes you feel better, old man. You'll be fine. But it is a fedora, though.
We do not have time to get into a 6-hour argument about the etymology of hats. But I am capable of it.
After this, then, because, I mean, words are important, and how they're used is important to write afterward.
Honey!
Like that word. That word is important.
As Bajilka exuberantly shouts the word honey, you see her flat cap abruptly hop off the top of her head and then settle back down. But as it does, it appears to nuzzle loose a small bit of parchment that had been tucked away on the inside that slowly floats down to the snow below.
Can we
Bajilka
look at
thinks
it?
that's a snack, so she's going to try and snack on it.
No. Irorna's going to try to take it first and look at it.
All right. Irorna quickly snaps it away. You have this little bit of parchment in your paw. It appears to have text inscribed upon it. If you would like to read to the crowd what it reads.
My dearest and darlingest, my love for you shines like the darkest of nights. How much longer must we be apart, my schmoozy woozle? Alas, the fates yet conspire to keep us astray.
And the reverse side of the parchment appears to hold a poorly drawn block of cheese and the word "don't" in all capital letters.
Irorna's quickly going to shove the parchment into her little honeypot handbag.
Bajilka looks dejected that she wasn't able to eat the paper.
What was on that?
It's nothing. There's this, it's too much to talk about. Maybe later.
Alright, but we aren't fully tabling this discussion.
No, I don't think I can ever fully table this discussion.
Oh, I was being jovial, but that's messed up. I'm very sorry. Later, right.
Later. She's going to take Bajilka's arm and walk towards the man with no glasses.
He squints up at you.
Yes?
Enter!
Yes, of course, Lady Coliana.
The fox kind of coughs a little bit awkwardly into his sleeve and then steps aside.
Bajilka tips her hat very gentlemanly, like as the two of them pass by.
Shall the rest of us proceed to the back?
Let's do it.
A quick... all right, so with that... as you slowly make your way forward... And actually, yes, so... Irorna and... let's see, who was going in? Bajilka?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. You begin making your way forward, passing through the dark entrance, making your way down a bit of frost-touched stairs, and soon you pass into a large, magnificent ballroom. You can see at the opposite side the walls glittering with honey, the ceiling covered with frescoes of terrifying, incredible pictures. On the other side, you see a great statue of a strange cloaked figure, and the overall floor is alight with activity. It's a rather magnificent display as you make your way out onto the ornate balcony, carved of pure black marble and streaked with veins of gold, that overlooks the dance floor down below. You see, it's been tastefully decorated, covered with all the aesthetics that a Dark Lord could want, from spider webs to candles that flicker ominously, to small, cloudy bits of foggy blood and dust that slowly drift across the floor, and as you watch, one of them resolves into a little impish little devil that cackles before melting along the floor once again. You can see across the room as the candles spontaneously blow out and then ominously relight. You can see off to one side what appears to be a punch table filled with a number of beverage options, currently congregated around by what seem to be a number of interesting individuals. You can see just off to the side of it what appears to be an orchestra of instruments that play themselves to a smooth, easy waltz, next to which stands a strangely pale, elegant-looking man who appears to have one hand on a wood-carved disc that he occasionally moves back and forth, causing the instruments to shriek a particularly unpleasant note. The room is filled with strange and ornery-looking figures. You see a tall, dark, pale-faced man with dark black hair, a widow's peak, calmly in a conversation with a strange, massive knight covered in perfectly black armor and what appears to be a floating, ethereal, elven spirit beside them. Off to the side, you can see the old woman and the two ugly women that you saw on your way in, slowly making their way, making a beeline for what appears to be a dusky-skinned elven figure who appears to catch sight of them and then briefly begins making his way around the room, trying to avoid eye contact. You see what appears to be a peaceful, angelic, cherubic-looking monk male discussing in conversation with a man in a top hat, while what appears to be a strange patchwork man glares at them from a distance. You can see what appears to be a number of skeletons making their way through in a conga line, parading as they are led by a particularly tall and fearsome-looking skeleton whose eyes glow with a purplish light. You watch as the line of skeletons is slowly getting pursued by a strangely hairy-looking man who seems to be prowling along on all fours. Off to one side, you can see just a punch table, and in front of a large set of doors that are currently flanked and blocked by what appear to be a number of glowing, flickering, flaming, terrified pair of looking humans next to what appears to be a strange sort of man wrapped in numerous bits of paper, some kind of mummy, and quartered on the other side by a woman with a very tall, old beehive hairdo, her skin very crackly and wrinkled. At that point, you hear a shriek, and a figure goes diving off of the balcony to the floor below, before landing like a cat and then scuttling across the floor like an insect. And you hear, "No! Damn it! Valenta, get back here!" You notice as the scuttling figure laughs, cackling, and it is quite au naturel, as behind her chases a dusky-skinned, vampiric-looking woman and a red-haired, noble-looking woman, both of them with fangs and red eyes. "Damn it! We can't get Valenta get away! Keep up, let's get her!" And then they quickly rush down the black marble stairs and out of sight.
Bajilka is very awkward in this lavish social setting, especially around any kind of open flame, and is clinging to Aurora anytime they pass like candles or torches or sconces that are lit.
After a few times of them doing that, Aurora tries to like weave through the crowd very awkwardly to make sure that Bajilka is always the furthest away from the candles.
Fuzmerelda, bored by the lack of challenge of getting into the hall, is going to attempt to steal the tuba player's tuba without him missing.
There is actually no tuba player. There's just a tuba that is playing. If you'd like, you can make your way down there. You can see that you can just down the stairs and just up to the side of the punch table.
Yeah, sure. Like the instrument is just like playing like poltergeisty.
Yep, it seems to be animated by some sort of arcane force.
Can I like take it?
All right. As you watch, Fuzmerelda slowly saunters her way down the right side of the marble staircase, approaching the raised dais where the instruments are playing. The pale-faced, elegant-looking man gives you a bit of an idle look and then shrugs, looking a bit bored, and turns back to his wooden discs. And you are, for a moment, beside the tuba. As overall beside you see what appears to be a pair of violins, a viola, a cello plucking away, a grand piano, a small, elegant-looking drum set, and a tuba happily plodding away in the background.
This may come into handy later, but really, she's only taking it for the spirit of the thing.
All right. Would you like to snatch it?
Yep.
All right. With that, I will need you to roll for criminal, please.
Fun. Does this count for advantage because I'm a thief?
Yes, you were a thief, so you get advantage on this roll.
You.
Always take the lower.
I still did not succeed.
Oh dear. So with that, as you saunter forward and try to reach slowly for the tuba, you hear a snort, and the young man from the table beside you turns and Now, I haven't seen you around here before, dearie, but please, all of us have untold amounts of musical talent, but unfortunately, it seems none of us are going to have a chance to display it tonight. So, I can commiserate, but let's not get the both of us in trouble, shall we? He gives you a strange-looking grin, and you see fangs poking out from his mouth.
She puts the tuba down.
Oh, exotic. I've not heard an accent like that in quite a long time. Tell me, are you from Neverwinter? Oh my. The shipping district. I've not been there in quite a long time. They speak certainly rough and tumble down there. I played a few songs in my day, but of course, the mists, you know. You never make your way out there these days. How are they doing? How's the old harbor master? How's he been? Oh no, the drug habit. It's such a shame. Oh. Well, come back later, dear, and I'll see if I can't set you up with one of the instruments. I know in this house, untold talent will never go recognized, but I can certainly provide you with an audience of one and provide you with a standing ovation, my dear.
She slinks sheepishly back to Irorna.
The man nods and turns back to his music.
So, in this gala area, there's no sign of this like cosmic bee yet, right?
Glancing around, no, and as far as you're aware, there is not. The cosmic bee is not here. The cosmic bee is currently tormenting the dark power so that everyone can make their way across the borders of the demi-planes.
Gotcha.
The bee is not expected to make an appearance.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, if there's anything like any snackable canapes being passed around on trays, Bajilka will take the tray, and she will eat.
There is, in fact, there appears to be going around, as if held aloft by an invisible force, a little tray table that appears to be holding little skulls that have little bits of, noodles and stuff in them, to resemble like, brains and eyeballs and stuff that you might find at a Halloween party. It's wonderfully gothic, very tasteful.
Oh my God,
one bobs past you.
I love this entirely as a player, and as a Bajilka, she takes the tray, and you realize that one of the body parts that she was fashioned with was an anteater tongue. So when she opens up her honey badger mouth, an anteater tongue just kind of sticks out and starts like lapping up all the yummy entrails.
Irorna's watching. You can't really see the expression from underneath the skin mask, but her eyes are as wide as a sun bear's can get, and she is fascinated by the display in front of her.
At this, as you are continuing, you suddenly hear footsteps approaching Irorna and Bajilka. And as you do, we will cut to Father Pandovich. And who else was accompanying you on your way around the temple?
Fuzzmerelda and Victor.
All right, Fuzzmerelda and Victor, you slowly make your way around the temple, prowling around for any other ways or means of entrance.
Wasn't Fuzzmerelda just trying to steal a tuba inside?
Oh, right.
Yes.
Huh. Got mixed up.
Yeah.
My apologies.
So, with that, as Victor and Father Pandovich make their way around, I will need one or both of you to make a criminal check for me. Or, well, actually, how are you searching for this for the back door, another way in?
Oh, I'm not. May I take us to a flashback, please?
You may.
Alrighty. So, we're in Berez, about 300 feet from Baba's premium hives, keeping a safe, respectable distance because it's Baba, and there are some people in Bearovia you do not mess with, even if you are a bear. As Victor is drawing lines in the mud and explaining something. Alright, so what you gotta understand is that this place is a haven for magic. Well, and apparently the Wi-Fi in there's terrible, but that's neither here nor there. The point being, if we're smart, we can get outside and set something up. I've been working on my teleportation circle spell, and there's been a few, minor bumps. Don't ask the whereabouts of those maids, they weren't important. But I think I've perfected it, and I have it on good authority that Mr. Axathanter himself has a teleportation circle in his lair. So, for those of us who are going to need to be more covert, I'm going to I'm going to draw a circle and get us right in there. I mean, granted, nothing will go wrong. I'm sure. It'll be fine.
I will bring a mobile hotspot.
Oh, please do. I am so sick of going without Wi-Fi. And Victor is going to prepare his magic, drawing lines in the snow.
All right. It takes a little bit of doing just because, every time you put a line down, the snow comes down and fills it in again. You have to kind of curse a little bit and scrub it out and crack it out again with a paw. But overall, you're able to make this, lovely spiraling assembly of circles. What is Victor's arcane implement, out of curiosity?
I think he has a component pouch, which he dumps out, and it's just like... No, he has he's got a staff with a little crystal on the end. Thing is, it's human size, so when he holds it, it's just like a stick. So he just taps that once on the circle proudly, and it glows. I did it! Oh, and it's not going to vaporize anybody this time.
This time?
Don't worry about it. Yes, there's a small risk. Moderate to high.
You go first.
Age before beauty. Fine. And Victor steps forward.
All right, I will need Victor to roll for criminal with advantage, please. Let's see how successful this circle
Can
is.
do. That's a success. That's a 1.
All right. With that, you summon up your very powerful magic as it crackles with bits of whitish polar bear energy, swirling like the snowy gale around you, the two of you stepping through the portal circle and then vanish, only to reappear in the center of a large, strangely porcelain-walled chamber lined with bits of white and purplish decor and pinkish little spirals that go up and down the sides like molding. In the corner, you can see what appears to be, strangely, a large tub that has been drawn in, above which you see what appears to be a large faucet that, floating magically in air, continually disperses what appears to be and smells like cow's milk down into the large tub below. And as you do, you hear echoing from the tall, gaunt, pale white skeleton that is currently scrubbing itself down in the tub. Dancing queen, young and sweet, oh. He turns toward you, freezes. Who the bloody hell are you? And then cut back to Aurora, Bajilka, and Fuzmarilda. You find yourselves slowly approached by the dusky-skinned, tall elf you saw before. He ducks his head and briefly murmurs toward you. Hello, I've not seen you at the party yet, but if you wouldn't mind striking up some conversation, please look like you're engaged.
Hello.
Yes, very good. The weather's very nice today. And you hear from behind him, coming through the crowd and pushing her way through, the old woman. Oh, Rod, dear Bella's just been dying to get to know you better. Please, dearie, where have you gone? Rahadin blanches and quickly ducks behind Bajilka. Please, hide me.
Irona stands next to Bajilka and they make like a bear wall.
Bajilka is confused.
All right. The old woman slowly approaches, blinking up and down. Well, aren't you a specimen? Tell me, have you seen a rather handsome and eligible-looking elf around here?
She's going to lift a very heavy arm and she's going to point in the opposite side of the room.
Roll for criminal for me.
Oh boy.
Is this the same woman who was like cackling about hats and cooked children earlier?
Yes.
That's a 6.
Oh.
She frowns, begins leaning in. You know, dearie, and she kind of like touches your arm. It seems that, well, I'm a bit familiar with people who try to get in the way of my daughter's happiness. You wouldn't be one of them, would you?
She's going to shake her head very quickly, like, no, not me.
Bajilka steps in between them and like doesn't say it, but gives her the look of, but I will.
All right. So are you attempting to like intimidate her? Or are you
Yes, I'm trying to bear intimidate her.
All right. I would say roll for that, and you may have advantage because you were rolling with muscle.
Three. So I think I succeed.
Didn't you flash back to criminal? So don't you have a bear stat of 2 right now?
Oh, maybe, yes.
Yeah, you did.
Yes.
Speaking of which, just a brief cutaway. Fuzmeralda, due to your failure with the instruments, if you wouldn't mind moving one to criminal for the success.
Gotcha.
All right. I would like to do what I can to get you introduced, wouldn't you? She begins pulling Rahadin away. He struggles, trying to break free, but ultimately acquiesces. And as you do, you hear him kind of turn and twist out of the way, and something falls from his pocket onto the floor, jangling. Disappear into the crowd. You're left once more to your own devices. Glancing around the room, you can see the figures still mixing and matching. You can see what would you like to do?
Can we see sort of where there's a collection of security guards that might be guarding the sort of entrance to the treasury, like Mario said?
The entrance of the treasury. Glancing around, you can see. I would say this is. Are you trying to detect this, or are you trying to look around for like the entrance? Like, what are you looking to do exactly?
Well, Irona's trying to sort of sense where this massive mound of honey might be, as opposed to, like, you know, in the treasury. So she's trying to sort of get a feel for it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so just kind of sniffing around?
Yeah.
All right, I would say roll for bear with advantage.
It's a 5 for both of them.
Fortunately, you do not detect honey as such. You notice a number of exits and entrances from the room. As you glance around, you can just kind of barely see up on the top left. There appears to be a bit of a corridor leading to what seems to be a door, and as far as you can tell, it appears to be flanked by a trio of burning skulls. It's possible that might lead to a back area, but you're not exactly sure.
Irona's going to point it out to Bajilka and try to drag her over there with Fuzmeralda in tow.
Bajilka won't fight it, but if there are any sweet treats or savory treats or any kind of treats along the way, she will try to break free and eat those.
You do pass by the punch table. which just has a few, little hors d'oeuvres and little like mini sweets upon it. There appears to be a trio of large bowls. From one is filled with a reddish liquid, one is filled with like probably it smells like cow's or goat's milk as well, and then the last one is filled with a delicious smelling golden honey.
Oh, honey. Yeah, no, she is diving right into that bowl head first. Face is just planted in there. She's lapping everything up that she can.
All right, so you hear a muffled scream as springing back away from it. You see two humans who you'd previously seen talking to the mummy and had made their way over to the table, springing back. One like a gaunt, grayish-looking man, and the other a woman with her hair put up behind her head in a very fancy nouveau riche sort of way, blinking and darting back and shrieking in terror at the sudden display of savage deliciousness.
And if anyone approaches, friend or foe, she will just swat them away with her giant honey badger claw.
All right, how much of the honey are you going to drink, and what is everyone else doing?
She's licking the bowl clean if she can.
All of it.
All right, you may move 1 point from criminal back into honey, or into bear. Sorry. So, while that's happening, what are Irorna and Fosmeralda doing?
I'd like to scout out some info about exactly when the gala itself starts.
Sure. There are a number of occupants of the chamber around you. Who would you like to speak to?
I guess the weird elf dude seemed to know things. If he's not currently occupied by the crazy old woman.
He is unfortunately long gone. There's no sign of him.
Sure. I'll just sally up to you know that girl who sort of leaped from the balcony and crawled all around earlier? Either her or the mom who was telling her off.
Gotcha. So doesn't seem to be a mom as such. You remember, though maybe it was. You're not sure, but glancing around, make a I guess just roll for bear for me.
Oh man, I'm good at bear. I succeed.
All right, glancing around, you see clinging to the wall, just to the northern end of the chamber, a little bit of a ways away from the punch table, that pale-faced woman. You can see her now. She's wearing like a skull-faced mask over her face, just kind of glancing around and occasionally snarling to herself. She appears to be quite alone for the moment.
Fosmeralda goes up to her and says, Gala, while pointing at her bare wrist to indicate time.
Woman looks up at you, leering happily. Yes? Who are you?
Time.
I'm
Gala.
Anastasia and the... Oh, good, you're not with them. I don't know what time it is. Do I look like I have a watch?
What at Gala?
What? She blinks up at you. Are you okay?
It seems like this person doesn't know anything about the Gala. So I guess Fosmeralda is just going to be like, never mind.
All right, with that, you watch Irorna as slowly, taking note of Bajilka's display of gluttony, one of the flaming skulls from the door at the back of the room slowly begins to drift toward your table.
Is Bajilka still licking the bowl clean at this point?
Presumably. Bajilka still getting every last drop.
Good to the last drop. You notice too that she has 2 tongues, and she's using the both.
Someone's coming. Just maybe tone it down a bit. And she's gonna try to like sit up and try her best impression at sitting like a human, but it's again very awkward.
All right. As you kind of like do your best to sit, it's not exactly easy. You're a bit too large for the chair, and you can hear it kind of creaking underneath you as Bajilka continues, basically holding up the bowl and licking it almost like it's some kind of candy cane or a lollipop. The skull slowly floats toward you. Hey, you twos, we got any troubles over here?
No.
The caterers, they got paid a lot of money for that. Am I gonna have to escort you outside? Got a little disorderly conduct over here. What's going on?
She hasn't eaten in days.
Oh, I hear you. But at the same time, roll for face, please. This would be roll for criminal with advantage because you have the face and are wearing a face.
That is a success.
All right. The skull nods, looking sympathetic. Yeah, I feel you. Man, it's all of us just want to, feed our folks, feed ourselves. It's a tough world out there. I feel your friend.
She's gonna nod very like sympathetically and sort of shrug like, what can you do?
Yeah, I feel you. Look. I got, if I got 2 clavicles, I got a rib cage. I got stuff to can't worry about, So, I feel you. I know where you're coming from. It can be tough sometimes. Just, tell your friend not to work too hard.
She's gonna nod and is it clear that this person works here?
Yes, you see floating like ethereally in the fire a little badge that reads security, similar to the fox you saw outside.
So noting the response that Catgirl Blinsky had to the platinum, she's going to reach into her little honey bag and attempt to hand this floating flaming skull a piece of platinum to help feed his family.
All right, I would say roll a d10 for me.
Oh no.
Good luck.
It's a 5.
5. You reach in and pull out what appears to be a silver piece that has been, bit down, by a merchant or someone, but bit so many times that it's almost like bended in half, at almost like a 90-degree angle. You had to proffer it, hoping that the silvery color is good enough. The flame skull regards it briefly. The fire in its eyes, winking at for a moment as if blinking. Oh, that's very kind of you, sweetheart, but listen, we all got problems, and I appreciate it, but I ain't no charity case, I gotta have my pride.
She's gonna hold up her paws as if to say, I don't mean to mean any harm, and give him an awkward, like, bear face wink in her skin mask.
In the skin mask, yes, of course. Yeah, no worries, sweetheart. It's all good. Listen, I know that, everyone's always got a lot going on, but, these schmucks wandering around, they can be a little much to talk to, but if you ever need something, me and the boys, we're near the back, glad to, have a chat, see what's going on, see, what I'm saying is, everyone needs, a shoulder to lean on sometimes, right? Everyone's got stuff going on, someone to talk to, we here. We know what your friend's going through. We get you.
Ivorna seems genuinely moved by this, as she is also dealing with some personal stuff, and there's a lot of emotion on her face and the human face, but she nods very appreciatively and says, "Thank you."
Of course, sweetheart, of course. Now, you hear over in the corner, as you turn around, you see the conga line proceeding. A yelp goes up from it, and you see the very furry man now has grown like wolf-like ears and is actively gnawing on the hip bone of the glowing-eyed skeleton that had been leading the conga line. The skull flares and says, "Excuse me, Toots. Hey, you! Wolf boy! Canine, down boy! And vanishes into the crowd.
Bajilka looks up from the honey bowl and looks around, completely oblivious to the interaction that just took place.
Yeah, with this distraction, I'm gonna try to get Bajilka over to the treasury direction.
She's gonna, Ivorna's gonna stop you guys really quick and hand you the ring of keys that she picked up. I don't know, these might be helpful for you guys.
Honey?
Yes, you're going to find the honey. I can help maybe distract these skulls for a little bit and maybe get some relationship advice on the way, but the honey is the important thing, yeah.
Bajilka looks at the now empty glass punch bowl and tosses it just into the crowd haphazardly and follows Fuzmerelda.
As you turn away, you hear a moment later the sound of breaking glass and a shriek going up around the crowd, but you're already gone. So, you're heading toward where exactly? Looking around the room, you said you're looking for the treasury?
Yeah, exactly.
Gotcha. So, looking around, you do see the large, massive vault door that that had indicated to you by Malia may lead directly to the treasury vault. Although, of course, as you can see, glancing up briefly, you kind of sidle toward and kind of do the side of it when you're sizing someone up at a party that you don't really want to be noticed. You see it's locked with a heavily intricate mechanism, several latches and locks in place that cover and seal it from every possible angle. You notice that everyone in the gala room is close enough to glance toward it, and that if it were to even to budge open an inch, you're sure that everyone would notice. But a few yards away, you do notice, leading in a similar direction toward the back end of the temple, as the two remaining flame skulls continue talking amongst themselves, that door that appears to lead toward a back area of the temple that might lead to further access.
We were told to take the back entrance, were we not, Bajilka?
Back door.
Yes, the back door. Let us perhaps just mosey casually. Fuzmerelda goes through this back entrance.
All right, it's not quite a back entrance so much as it seems to be a way to the back half of the temple, the backstage, if you will, you think. Or perhaps, rooms that might not be so exposed to the public eye. You make your way forward, sauntering and slowly making your way through the crowd, trying to avoid attention, with your masks and hats, flopping nicely atop your fuzzy bear skulls, and you do a reasonably good job of such. You make your way past the now totally in disarray Congo line. Disarray. Like, there are bones all over the floor, there are skulls shrieking. It's not going very well. Passing through, you make your way toward the door. You hear the two skulls discussing amongst themselves in their conversations. You approach. And so your premiums went up again. Yeah, you know how it is every fucking year. Yeah, I know. It's a whole gold piece higher per month. I can't afford these things. They're gonna be pouring holy water on us next. Yeah, you preach it, man. I hear it like it is. They pause in the conversation, turn to face you. Hey there. What you looking for? You some trouble? You need help? You lost? What's going on?
I have a press pass.
There's a brief pause. Do you have a press pass to proffer? One looks at it and you says, I'm gonna need some proof identification, girly.
Let's see. Should I try to sneak one past them or just have Bajilka? Okay, flashback. Okay, flashback. To secret hideout in the tower by Lake Bartok. We're just sort of gathering around in the roof of the tower, sipping some alcohol. So we're going to need have some Gonna need some stuff to show them. Maybe some tickets to get in, maybe some the little fake ID, just in case people ask too many questions. You get me?
I can get us fake IDs and press passes. My dad, since he's the Bergamaster, we have press over all the time to talk to us, like really important people. So I can get whatever documents we need. That's not an issue. I like to be helpful.
Oh, excellent. Yeah, I can swipe the little passes that they bring from their pockets. I will just write our names. I will cross out their names. I will write our names instead. We'll draw little ears on their faces.
Let me do the mock-up work. If they have any sort of security measures printed on these things, I can make that happen.
The IDs do. When you put them under this glowy machine, they sort of have this pretty effect on them. But only in some places, like New York. But I have a New York ID, so I think it makes sense to go with those because those are the hardest to fake anyway. So it's more legit.
It is a nectar mark.
Yeah.
We'll look up how to make these look convincing.
Bajilka takes a very hearty sip of her Shirley Temple, and is just kind of sitting on the edge of, I presume, Van Richten's bed, her feet just kind of dangling.
Victor's idly batting Jan's head around. Yeah, that's a good idea. Although I will... Yeah, no, put on your best reporter's hats and go for it. That's brilliant. Good luck.
And flashback to the present. First off, Esmeralda, you may move 1 point from Bear into Criminal.
Here is press pass.
All right, and so I will allow Father Pandovich, if you could roll first a hacker check with advantage. This is a criminal check with advantage because you're a hacker. This is to give Esmeralda advantage on her check. We'll see how well you do your mock-up.
All right.
In the past.
Those are some good rolls.
All right, so that is success. Father Pandovich.
Yes.
All right, with that, Esmeralda, you may roll for advantage as you present your press pass.
Let me just squander this advantage. Oh, that is a success.
All right. With that, as you hold the press pass out, the skull kind of takes it, hovering in like a green, fiery, telekinetic grasp as it kind of slowly floats up and down. It doesn't quite fall to the ground, but somehow it doesn't burn either, which, I suppose is for the best. Inspects it and holds it up to the light. You see kind of shimmering off of the little amber, bee designs inked into the base of it. You're briefly impressed by whatever printer Father Panovich managed to access for this purpose. It seems to have done its job admirably. Skull kind of puts it back down and floats it back over toward you. Yeah, that looks legit. You look into talk with the big man, get him featured.
Big man.
Yeah, Mr. Bones, we call him. But yeah, look. I think you're good. I wasn't aware that there was, an interview set up, but he does his own thing. He keeps his own calendars. You feel me? So I think we're good here. I guess what are you? What you got? Like the microphone, the camera. You got all the stuff.
Big man.
Need any help? Yeah. You need help setting it up, or well, no, you're a big man, right? We don't need to get ourselves involved. So we'll let you do your thing, and we won't. Here, and the skull turns around, and its eyes glow for a moment. You hear the shifting of tumblers and gears in the wall, and then the door to the back slowly opens. All right, you should be good to go. Listen, just tell the boss that if you wouldn't mind, if he's feeling good about it, that oh geez, this is a little much for me, but if you don't mind asking some questions about workplace, circumstances. Listen, it's a little on the wraps, but if you wouldn't mind, because you're one of those, you get scoops, right? Reporters, you get scoops.
Scoop.
I want
yeah.
lots of scoops.
Yeah. If you wouldn't mind, just ask a few of those prowling questions about the way he treats his employees. Get the
Union?
news out. Yeah. We that's a good idea. We should. Yo, Bobby. Listen here. This dame's got an idea, and he kind of like moves aside to start discussing, and leaving the way clear for you to proceed. And so, if the three of you would like, you may proceed forth into the back.
Yes, we are. I'm ready to proceed.
Absolutely.
All right. With that, as you make your way through, we cut back to Victor and Father Pandovich as the skeleton with the glowing eyes briefly stops his singing, flashing toward you. What on earth are you all doing here?
That was very beautiful. Please don't let us interrupt you.
Blinks. I'm sorry. I don't understand what you're talking about here.
Plumbing. Here, installing buttermilk faucet. You only have 2%. Much healthier for growing skeletons.
Fuzzmerelda shows the note.
Esmeralda, you were
You're
not
not
in
here.
Oh, sorry. I thought we'd joined up.
Yep. Also, briefly, Father Pandovich and Father Pandovich and Esmeralda, you each put 1 point from Baron to Criminal, please, for a very successful means of gaining access.
Excellent.
Aight.
And with that, I would like Victor to please roll for Criminal as you attempt to deceive this poor skeleton.
3. That's a success.
All right. He blinks and nods. Oh, I wasn't even aware. I mean, I'd been told about the buttermilk upgrade, but I didn't know that I qualified. How do you need to proceed? What should I do?
Finish. Bath. We wait in antechamber.
No need. I'm very nearly done. Oh, this is wonderful. Oh, I could just. Oh, wonderful. Just give me a moment. I don't know. Yep.
I have a very bad question. Does this skeleton's bones look like bamboo?
The skeleton bones, they are a little aged with time, a little bit, yellowed with age. But you can see as he scrubs, more of the milk moisture onto them, that they whiten up a little bit, freshen up a bit. So they don't look like greenish bamboo. They're quite white.
Okay, just checking.
Very good. So with that, you watch as he kind of turns off the faucet with a snap of his fingers, and slowly, reaches out hand, and a large, fluffy purple towel with the initial E lovingly monogrammed into it floats over toward him. He, wraps, it around his head as another smaller hand towel slowly floats toward him and wraps its way around the top of his skull as he wraps the towel around his waist. Ooh, I won't be on your way. Please let me step away, and if there's anything that you need from me, I will be right outside.
Much obliged.
Oh, this is wonderful. Oh, the buttermilk upgrade. Oh my, I'll be stunning. And he slips out to the door, still happily nattering to himself, leaving you alone in the chamber. As you do, you notice you hear a door opening and closing. And in stumble Fuzzmerelda, Bajilka, and Irorna. As the door closes, and you hear the sound of the gala abruptly protrude and then fade as the door slams shut.
Hello.
We have to mix butter with milk. Why would you... Can you do that?
Put butter in milk? Why not?
I suppose so.
Those are two of the fundamental ingredients that go into a roux.
A root? I don't know
You
what that
have
is.
to make sure not to burn the flour.
I know I ruined a bechamel sauce by burning the flour.
You guys cook? You can do that? We just have a little fire under the igloo. We can't do sauces and all that.
My
Good
son
gracious, it's
Well,
a
is
whole world.
my dad
always
is the
hungry.
Burgermeister. We have a full kitchen.
Can you show me that? I'd like to try that cooked food. Oh my.
Yeah, sure. Come over whenever you want, except at night, because that's when all the creatures start calling. But in the morning is good. Mornings are best.
I wake up at like 3 p.m. We'll work something out. But yeah, how'd y'all's mission go?
Bajilka leans over the bathtub and starts to lap up some of the milk.
Bajilka got honey, and we made friends with some flaming skulls. And the press passes, Father, that you designed, perfectly legit. They worked like a charm.
Good.
The back of your note, Irona, it had some advice about installing buttermilk.
Yeah, don't turn it to cheese.
Yes, the buttermilk back home in my fridge is currently quite spoiled and turned to cheese, so that is very quality advice.
That's a really funny note, because, I didn't know that he knew you, but I guess he knows everyone, so it makes sense.
Who's he here? I'm not following.
Oh, the person who wrote me my note.
They
Honey.
know about... Huh.
Honey?
Alright. But no, not here. Not at the moment. Don't kill anyone.
Bajilka lifts her head up, and her human face mask is all just covered in pieces of honey, and now dripping with milk. It's caught in her hair, the curly hair that's on top of the milk.
Oh. You look great.
Are there any other doors out of this place other than the door that Exithander left from and the door that our bear compatriots came in from?
Yes, so looking around the chamber, it appears to be of an interesting display. There is the larger door that leads to the main temple chamber. There's the door that Exithander exited through. There is also a third door that appears to lead further toward the back end of the temple. The walls around you, by the way, are quite dark, lit by purplish candles that glimmer with amethyst light. Looking around, the walls are actually lined with skulls that grin hideously from the dark corners of the chamber all around you. And at the center of the room, there is a very lovely, tasteful, purple-red striped rug.
I feel kind of bad for misleading Exithander. I kind of want to leave a disassembled faucet on the ground with a note saying going out for more parts or something like that.
All right. How would you like to do something of that nature?
I would like to take the faucet that is currently there and disassemble it.
All right. I would say this qualifies as, you are hacking it apart, certainly. I would say make a criminal roll with advantage to make it as tasteful a scene as possible.
Luckily, that was with advantage because I rolled a 1 and a 6.
All right, very good. So you managed to piece it out, make it look, very professional. You actually managed to, find in the corner a little bit of bone, and using your claws kind of whittle it into a place where it actually looks like, almost like a screwdriver. You leave a few other pieces along the ground, a few little phalanges you found in a little box that look almost like screws. And using your bare paws, it's not easy. You have to kind of do it with your teeth a little bit. You just kind of carve out a little message on the head of one of the skulls nearby, just out for parts, return soon. Just kind of leave it there, very tastefully lying atop, a little fluffy towel next to the tub.
Yes. Does that count as moving 1 point from bear to criminal?
I would say yes. Well, I would say no, actually. That's not really a plan. That's more just a nice thing you did.
Okay.
No.
But proceed.
Yes. Okay, so we had a contact to meet up with. Quilna. A Q word. Quilnius.
Quilnius.
Yes, that. Where were we going to find him? Somewhere in this sanctum back here.
Well, we have a whole ring of keys, so at least we have access to probably most of these places back here, so maybe we can go room by room?
Oh, you have key? Oh, goodness, yes, please. That wasn't even in the script. By all means.
Yeah, this elf who was trying to avoid this old lady who's trying to set him up with her daughters, dropped it when she kidnapped him and took him away. So I gave it to Fuzmerelda because she seems really responsible for that sort of thing.
Later. Yes. Okay. Do you think we should rescue him? That seems like a bad time.
Honey!
Okay, yes, that too.
Honey.
Fair enough. All right. Pick a door.
Father Pondovich is going to head towards the third door that seems to lead further into the temple and just shoulder his way past everything else.
Irona will follow. He seems like he knows what he's doing.
Yep.
Same.
All right, you make your way toward the third door in the back, right?
Yes.
Yep.
All right. Slowly approaching it, you try the handle. Clicks. Locked.
Well, Rona's got some keys.
Fuzmerelda, can I see the key ring?
Yes, it is right here, and she goes through the keys trying to find one that matches the lock. Here, help me out here, Irona.
She's gonna try to help fit keys into not that one, not that one, not that one, not that one. Why does he
This
have
one's
so
going
many
in.
keys?
Oh.
Oh,
no,
is it?
I don't know if it's turning. It's a bit stuck.
Bajilka is doing the pee-pee dance.
What?
What?
You've never seen the pee-pee dance when like a little kid is like trying to go to the bathroom?
Oh no.
Do any of the keys fit the door?
You try each key one after another, and soon enough you've come upon a key that looks like it has a skull carved into it, a bony white material, a skeleton key, if you will. You fit it into the lock, and it twists and turns, and the door clicks easily open.
Great job. That was really smooth, Fuzmerelda.
If I am nothing if not smooth, I'm sure you will learn fast.
Yeah.
Bajilka just bursts straight in between them and then rushes to the nearest corner and takes a piss.
Bears. Yeah, what is in this new room? I mean,
All right,
aside from
and as
Bajilka.
you step your way forward into the new chamber, stepping out of the light of Exithanter's parlor and bath chamber, into the dark, ominous room that yawns before you, we're going to cut to break.
Oh,
Alrighty.
man.
Ooh.
cubs seem still asleep. But something is moving. A bear. 2 bears. 2 black bear cubs. This is Brother Bear. And this is his twin sister. They are black bear twins, not quite 1 year old. For cubs, they like to play. Their mother is still asleep and the cubs are on their own. Now this is probably why they're so rough in their play. Breakfast time. The twins are hungry from the long night and rough playing. Sister Bear has learned to look for bugs under large rocks. She tries to lift this one with her paws. She even tries to shove it aside with her nose, and she digs all around it. Beetle. Very tasty, but not enough for breakfast. Brother Bear, meanwhile, is also on the lookout for food. There may be something to eat in this rotten log. A nest of ants. Brother and Sister Bear like to eat ants and grasshoppers and crickets and berries, but what are a few ants for 2 growing cubs? And so on they go to look for more food. Sister Bear takes a good look at the young fir tree. No, nothing there. How about this tall tree? Brother Bear joins his sister. His nose is turned upward as he sniffles the bark. There's something sweet high up there in this hollow tree, he mumbles to himself. It could be honey. And honey it is. Up he goes after the honey. Good, very good, delicious. Never mind the bees. They're sort of annoying when a bear is hungry, but his thick fur protects him for a while at least. The more he chews off the honeycomb, the angrier the bees become. And now, they're attacking his face, his eyes, his nose, until he's forced to give up and begins to retreat. On the way down, he stops once more to lick off some more honey that had dripped onto the bark. But now the bees are getting really mean. And so he hurries down the tree and away from the bees. His hide is burning from all the stings, and he feels very uncomfortable. This mud puddle is just the right place for him. The cool, wet mud will soothe his burning hide. Next morning brings new adventures. Adventures that the Black Bear twins will never forget. There are people in their forest. Here come Jimmy and Alice and their mother and father. They seem to have noticed something on the ground. What is it? Well, Father takes a good look. Seems like bear tracks, he says. Baby bears, no doubt. Oh, let's find them, beg the children. They look around for footprints of their mother bear, but there are none. And that's why Mother thinks the cubs may be orphans. Maybe they're hungry, says Alice. Let's go to the camp and get some food for them, proposes Father, and everyone agrees. In the camp, Mother unpacks the breakfast bacon. You can have this much, she says. The children decide to hang the bacon on this tree. Hang it low, Father suggests. Remember, they're cubs. Soon the sun goes down. The children are all excited, waiting for the bears to come for the food. Mother suggests that Alice and Jim hide inside the tent. Otherwise, the bears may not dare to come. Out in the forest, the bears have been smelling the delicious bacon. And now that all is quiet, they come to taste it. It's dinner time, and they're hungry. Piece by piece, they're chewing up the bacon, and they're looking for more. What a dinner! Oh, he scared them away. Next morning, the family is up with the sun. The black bear twins are watching from their thicket while the family eats a hearty breakfast. Soon the campers are ready to go fishing. This is just what the bears were waiting for. Like all youngsters, they love to explore. Sister is out in front. What is this, she wonders? It smells strange, it tastes strange, and it does strange things. Maybe she better leave it alone. And Brother Bear, what has he discovered? A ball! What a wonderful thing to play with. It may even be good to eat. He'll try. Enough mischief for Brother. But Sister is just making a new discovery. Her black nose wiggles with excitement as she fumbles around the strawberry jam and leftover waffles. She settles down more comfortably in the chair and begins to taste the food. She likes it. It's sweet like honey and crunchy like young roots. But now, how about that plate over there? It is a little out of reach. Brother Bear hears the noise. And so do the children who are just coming back from fishing. The bears better get away, and quick. They race down to the lake. Black bears are good swimmers. And soon they're safe on their side of the lake, running back to their part of the forest and to their mother, where they can rest safely after their exciting adventure with people.
right. Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Welcome back to Honey Heist, Journey to Bearovia. Thank you very much to everyone who's joining us, and we hope that you enjoyed the break video, courtesy of our very own Jack Officer and Zia Playocus, our excellent producer. With that, we are going to be picking back up with the show now, so without further ado, let's jump back in. As you step through the back door of Exithanter's chambers into the dark chamber beyond, Bajilka lumbering through, followed by Victor and the others. As you pass through Father Pandovich, the force of the bears shifting through the door stirs up a bit of a wind that blows forth a small bit of parchment that appeared to have been lodged in the doorsill. It slowly flutters down to the ground and lands at your feet.
I will slowly pick it up.
Very good. It appears to be a bit of parchment, torn at the top and bottom, covered with additional more writing and a rather familiar-looking scrawl. If you wouldn't mind reading it.
Father Pandovich is actually going to stop and start reading this aloud to everybody. But never fear, my honey-suckling honey. Our separation is soon to come to a close. When my plans finally come to fruition, not a dark power amid these demiplanes could defeat our love. He flips it over, and, well, there is a drawing of a peanut, and the word forget.
Can I see that note?
Sure.
She will take it and look at it and sigh really dejectedly and say, well, clearly he's trying to tell us something. Don't forget.
Do these notes
Don't forget what?
did the tears line up?
She'll pull the other note out of her honey pouch.
They mesh together perfectly. The first one at the top, the second one at the bottom. You flip them over, and it seems that the words run together, reading "Don't forget" with the pictures lining up. The cheese first and the peanut second, and on the opposite side, the full note is beginning to. Well, you're not sure if it's a note, but the text appears to be running together rather neatly.
But what could it mean? Cheese peanut.
Peanut.
Aurora, you know how we were saying we were going to discuss this later? It's later. What? Who is this?
Okay, so it's a little complicated. Basically, there's this, well, he's like a fruit bat, but not really a fruit bat, like a vampire bat. And he's been interested in me for a while, and I'm just not interested in him like that, like at all. But he keeps writing me letters and notes and sending me gifts, and he tries to like visit me all the time, and my dad super doesn't like him either, so it's just really complicated. I don't really know what to do. I just sort of ignore him and hope that he might go away, but I don't know. It's sort of hard to deal with.
A winged vampire rat with wings has been... Oh, that must not be pleasant at all. They're annoying little creatures.
And he's vegan, and he tells me all the time that he's vegan, and it's like the most annoying thing in the world. Like, yeah, I get it. You're vegan. You tell me all the time.
Nice option for you to have. I'm a goddamn bear. I cannot.
Exactly! I wish I could be vegan, but if I was vegan, I would die.
Yeah, but sorry, Father. You accepted, but most bears... Oh, come on.
It's okay. Honey isn't vegan either.
You're right. Oh. What kind of monster doesn't like honey?
What kind of bat thinks that they can get with a bear?
Well, this bat, and besides, he's just, I don't know. He's shoots very above his station, I think, personally, but you can't really stop Ivan Sukovich, can you?
Bajilka pats both Irorna and Father Pandovich on their backs simultaneously.
Ow! Oh, thanks, honey. That's sweet.
All right. Well, tell you what. At the end of this, you'll have enough honey that you never have to think about him ever again. You can go somewhere where bats can't go. So it'll be nice. Or just hire some bodyguards.
Well, I was thinking maybe I'd go someplace with a really nice pool, you know?
That does sound
Palm
like
Springs.
Exactly! It'd be lovely. I've been thinking about going there too. Beaches.
Well, why don't
tourists.
we just do it after this is over? We'll just go to Palm Springs.
I would love that. I mean, we have to watch out for sea change, of course, but we'll live.
Airbnb.
Some fish.
Airbnb! Airbnb!
Okay, podcast over.
You can't see me because there's no webcam, but I am slowly laughing myself to death over here. Please continue.
Is there anything else in this room other than the barren stain of bear's piss?
So, at the top, the puddle of urine that Bajilka has left is now slowly dripping down. What you realize to be a kingly set of black marble stairs that slowly descend in a circular spiral to a lower level. The room you are in appears to have around it what seems like a golden gilded railing that descends alongside the black marble. The room as a whole seeming to pulse with a strange darkness as it leads you down deeper into the bowels of the temple.
Guys, this is magic! Oh my god! We got to the cool stuff! We found where he keeps his mysterious pulsing darknesses. I'm so excited. Oh man.
Irona, is this honey doing the pulsing?
Can I sense if this weird magical pulsing darkness is honey?
Roll for bear with advantage.
That's a 1, so yeah, I succeed.
All right, you sniff, you're attuning your fine bear senses as your sun bear instincts take over. You instantly latch on. You find your nose tugging you instantly downward, down the stairs, not the darkness itself, but through it to what lies below.
Well, the pulsing darkness isn't honey, but there's definitely honey down there.
Bajilka is marching straight ahead. Or
Irona is close behind Bajilka and whatever lumbering she's doing.
Yeah, you watch. She's doing the Naruto run where like her arms are just flailing behind her and her claws are scraping against the stairs.
Did you just say Naruto? Never mind. We'll have this argument later.
Is it
All right.
Naruto? How do we?
I'm not a weeb. I don't know how to pronounce it.
On that note, you continue down the stairs, following the spiral staircase as it descends deeper and deeper into the temple, leaving behind Exathanter's chambers into the main floor of the gala. As you descend into a much larger chamber with a vaulted ceiling that extends deep beneath the upper floor. You can see that this large on the walls and ceiling many frescoes that appear to depict a massive, almost divine in appearance bee with 6 wings instead of 2 and many, many limbs. As in many depictions of many forms, it chases, stings a number of dark, cloaked, and hooded figures that shy away from it upon the walls, each of them cringing or twitching away as the bee lands upon them or stings them. And as you look across one of them, you see carved into the chiseled marble on the wall is a little speech bubble emanating from the cloaked figure that reads, "Ow," and next to it another one that reads, "Stop, that stings." In another corner of the room, on the opposite end, in the very center of the wall, you see a large vault door, secured with a large bar across the surface, what appears to be a small system of dials at the front of it. In another corner of the room, rather close to the vault door, you see a large, what appears to be a block of amber, perhaps 7 feet tall and perhaps 5 feet across. It appears to contain a rather dark-looking silhouette inside that is not quite visible from this angle. And as you enter the room, Irona's nose still leading you around, you can strongly smell honey coming from 2 locations. The massive treasury vault door, as well as a number of, strangely enough, vents that lined the lower walls of the chamber.
Like, how big are these vents? Like, are they bear-sized, or are they? Does it look like they're like air conditioning ducts or something like that, or is it just?
It's not quite. It's more like carved into the wall itself. There are like these slits, maybe no more than an inch or 2 across, that run for maybe a yard at a time, and they are scattered in several places along the walls.
Gotcha.
Not like ventilation shafts, more just like I don't know, just vents.
And the big door with the bar and the dials, does it look like it's some sort of, like it has a lock mechanism that can be unlocked with one of our keys, or is it some kind of other passageway?
All right, so as Irona approaches the door to inspect it, what's everyone else doing?
Victor is very curious about this big block of amber and is going to trundle over there with his big ol' self and try and peer inside it and see why exactly they have this just sitting out here.
All right. No, you first.
Fuzmerelda is examining the vents and seeing if any of them might lead anywhere beyond just like a tube into the wall.
All right. With that, Esmeralda, I will need you to make just a criminal check is fine. You can make this with advantage because it does fit into your thief skill as you were kind of casing the joint. Okay. Victor, as you approach the large block of amber, you can see that it appears to faintly resemble almost like an amount of bestial features that protrude from the surface, almost like a sarcophagus of sorts. Looking inside, you can just faintly see through the dark golden surface, and as your claws kind of prick upon it, you move it up to your nose and sniff. It smells almost sweet, not like normal amber. As you look inside, you see a small dark shape covered in long, pointy spines, eyes frozen in an eternally aghast expression, unmoving.
Crit success for examining the vents. Is a 1 a crit?
A 1 is a crit, yes. Esmeralda, as you make your way slowly surveying the vents on the sides, you notice one part of the wall that appears to be a bit of a false tile. And as you kind of jiggle a little bit just beside one of the vents, you notice that it seems to be almost like a manhole cover, quite large. You got to pull it up, creaking and echoing through the chamber. It appears to lead down to what appears to be like a 10-foot shaft or so. At the very bottom, you can see, strangely enough, what appears to be a large plug with a chain attached to it. And so, Irorna, as you step forward, making your way toward the vault door, you can see what appears to be a combination lock of sorts of number of dials. And as you step toward it, trying to get a closer look at exactly what these dials depict, you hear a click, and the floor depresses beneath your paw.
Oh no. She's going to stand very still. And then, oh man, slowly try to lift her paw back up off the pressure plate.
As soon as you freeze, you hear a slam. And as you turn around, you see as the space where the stairs exited into this part of the chamber has been sealed off as a massive steel door slams down from the ceiling and locks it in place. You hear all around you as suddenly crystal of amber and the walls above you begin to blare with a crimson red glow as throughout the entire chamber, a wailing klaxon begins to shriek. Suddenly, from each of the vents begins to flow forth a flood of golden, amberish, sticky honey that slowly and then quickly begins filling up the chamber, bubbling up, sticking around your paws. And by the time you realize it, it's already 6 inches up your ankles.
Shit. Esmeralda pulls the plug, not bothering to consider the consequences.
It is around 15 feet down. At this point, it's entirely full of honey.
Bajilka is, as soon as the chamber starts to flood with the honey, she starts to do that kind of like excited, jumping up and down and clapping her paws together. And she gets down on all fours and just starts to like lap it up.
All right. As you do, you see as Bajilka begins lapping up the honey, kind of shoveling as much into her mouth. You notice that some of the honey is beginning to stick to her paws, sticking to her muzzle. And as you look, it's actually beginning to solidify, almost like it's forming crystals, like icicles. You see her mouth munching happily and then slowly struggling to break through as the crystals begin to solidify inside of her mouth, preventing her from closing her muzzle entirely. As you move deeper down, Fuzzamerelda, you feel yourself struggling to move your hands and paws and arms locking in place as suddenly the crystalline shards begin to form around the length of your arms and paws. I need you to make a bear check with disadvantage, please.
With disadvantage, that's a new one. All right, and
swim down.
Yeah, and that is a failure on the bear check. She's gonna yell back to Bajilka, break through this, help me get to the plug.
All right, and I will, try to break free of it and help Fuzzamerelda.
All right, make a check to roll for bear. This is a muscle check, so you do it with advantage. While that's happening, another sudden flush, a geyser of honey bursts into the room, raising the level by another 4 feet in a matter of seconds. Suddenly you find yourselves bear paddling as the honey level rises second by second. It's up to 5 feet now.
So I rolled a 2 on that.
All right, you crunch down, shattering the bits of crystallized honey around your muscle and paws.
Father Popovich would like to take a look at the alarm system and see if there's any visible system that can be savaged in order to stop this flow of honey.
All right, you can see the honey slowly beginning to rise. By this point, it's reaching 6 feet, 7 feet. By now, like the smaller among you are beginning to float, truly having to bear paddle to stay aloft. You can feel the honey thickening around your lower bodies, your torsos, and parts of the lower parts of your upper paws. Glancing around, you can faintly see what appears to be a small fuse box, perhaps 4 feet above you, that is covered in amber and carved with the small insignia of a bee.
Father Popovich is going to shout to everybody, trying desperately to keep his muzzle above the honey. That box! We need to get to it!
Victor roars and swims across the honey and tries to boost Father Pandovich on his back, seeing if he can give him enough height to get to the fuse box.
All right, Victor, if you could make a bear check with advantage, as you are using your special skill of swimming to boost Father Pandovich. This will give Father Pandovich advantage on his check.
May I take a big mouthful of honey as I do so?
You may.
All right.
It's a little hard to go down. It's like, like eating spoiled milk, but eating spoiled honey instead, because it just kind of like solidify on the way down. It's a little gross, but it will allow you to move 1 point into bear.
You will not pleasure. Oh, that's still a failure. That's a 3.
Unfortunate. What, your current bear score is 2?
Yep. Victor's been doing a lot.
Gotcha. Okay. So with that, you try to boost up Father Panovich, struggling. Father Panovich, you just barely managed to get in reach of the honey as the level keeps rising. Victor trying to keep steady, but occasionally bumping you a little bit. This is just going to be a straight roll. So what are you trying to do?
I am trying to get the fuse box open, and then if there is a button inside, to hit the button.
All right, you open it, and you see a number of different colored wires, red, green, and yellow.
I am going to bite the green wire because it looks vaguely like bamboo.
All right, I would say roll for hacking
Yes.
with advantage. This is a criminal check.
That is a success.
All right, with that, you bite through the green wire. You see a shudder of sparks spouting off from the edge of it, and the water and the honey level ceases rising.
Good job, Victor says, between trying to spit crystallized honey out of his mouth.
Father Pondovich is going to roll off of Victor's back.
Very nice. Is everybody all right?
We still doing this.
Yeah, no, I'd rather we not drown.
Honey.
It's all right, Bajilka. We'll get you some honey. How close are you to getting that drain? Do you need some help, Fuzmeralda?
Yeah, I'm stuck in all this honey. It's like, I don't know what's up with it. It's not real honey or something.
Bajilka will continue to try to help Fuzmeralda out, and as well as pulling the plug, the drain on this thing.
All right. So I would say if you'd like to try to make your way down, just muscling your way through the honey, I would say roll for bear with advantage.
No, 5 on both. That's a failure.
All right. It is very slow. Eventually, you're able to make it down there because the maelstrom and the whirlpool of the swirling, flooding honey is no longer present, thanks to Father Pandovich. But by the time you resurface, as you move down and pull the plug, only your paw is free. You lean down and pull it up, and you hear a sudden immense draining sound as all of the honey in the chamber slowly and then more quickly floods its way down the drain to the lower levels, wherever it may be, draining the chamber clean, except for a bit of a slick, sticky, golden substrate that remains on the surfaces. The rest of you see Bajilka now almost entirely encased in a bear-shaped chrysalis of honey. Her lower half sticking up out of the top of the shaft, her upper half still at the bottom near the hole.
Oh, that's alarming. All right.
And Irorna is going to go back to the door. She's not remembering where that pressure plate was. She's not going to step on it, but she's going to try to look at the dials.
All right. Looking at the dials, you can see that, briefly inspecting them, you kind of spin through them for a little bit just to see what they all are. They appear to be a number of pictures of different animals. There's a panda, a grizzly bear, a salmon, a parrot, a dolphin, an elephant, and a mouse. Each of the 3 dials appears to flick between all of these different animals. Meanwhile, what is everyone else doing?
I'm going to take a look at the state of Bajilka right now and just say, do you need help?
I assume my head is encased wholly in this crystallized honey, right?
Yes, it is continuing to dry.
I'm sorry for getting in your personal space like this. I'm gonna start licking the honey off of her.
All right. I would say that over some time, you're able to begin licking it. I'm not sure how coarse panda tongues are, but let's say that you're able to do it yourself with additional aid from Bajilka. And within a matter of minutes, you're able to get it low enough that she's able to shatter free.
Bajilka now shattered free thanks to Father Pandovich's voracious licking. Kind of like scurries up and nuzzles herself into Father Pandovich very like affectionately, and then as if almost like distracted by something, just kind of wanders off and goes to see what she's actually going to go. Is the sarcophagus that has the shape inside of it still up?
Yes, and as you look at it, it appears to be, that same like quill-covered figure, and it appears to have something clenched in its fist.
Bajilka is going to go to it. Does it smell like honey when she approaches?
It does, and it smells actually surprisingly delicious.
Bajilka is going to start like licking it with both tongues, and
All right.
also going to start using her claws to like scrape at the surface.
All right. With that, you begin licking your way through, scraping across it, and it appears that given some time to set and crystallize fully, it's almost more like a honey-flavored rock candy than the unpleasant chunks that you were imbibing before. It's actually fairly delicious, and if you'd like, you can eat it a little bit more crumptually.
Crunching, just Chonk City here, old country buffet style. If she had a bib,
right.
she'd be wearing it.
Oh, perfect. All right, so Bajilka noms her way through the sarcophagus, gnawing her way through it and eagerly enjoying her honey-flavored rock candy, tearing it apart easily, probably breaking a little bit, shattering a little bit, making it easier to get down with, the unicorn horn in her arm. And by the end of it, tearing it free, you expose the face of which appears to be a little black porcupine that suddenly gasps for air as soon as the golden covering over its face is removed.
What would I have to roll to not bite his face?
I would say roll for criminal. For a means of self-control.
Oh no, that's a 6.
You like briefly like that thing where like dogs will like nom each other's mouths. It looks like that, where like you kind of like clench your incisors around the porcupine's muzzle, and you hear a
That's not food. That is not food. Please.
Bajilka just kind of casually backs away, looking at this porcupine curiously.
There's a bit of a wriggling on the inside, and then the porcupine closes its eyes and shoots forth several dozen spikes as the remaining, mostly chiseled away amber shatters in a display of needle-like carnage. Plopping to the ground, breathing hard. Oh, that was not fun. I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all. Waking up. Who the hell are you people?
I believe we're your escort. Quilnius?
Yes, the one and only, and who are you?
We're only the best heist team that's ever been. We're working with the Keepers of the Paw. We were told that you would be able to help us in exchange for getting you out.
Yes, that's the plan. I was looking for some of the security features here, but they got the better of me.
Yes, evidently you found them. How long have you been in there?
I'm not sure, and I don't really want to know.
Fair enough. Alright. Well, welcome to the team. You just met Bajilka. She's a gem. Don't get between her and food.
Bajilka takes up one of his quills and starts to pick her teeth with it.
God bless. So, did you find anything out about this lock? I Irorna's giving it a look, but we're still doing our best.
Well,
Fuzmerelda's.
I was going to say, Fuzmerelda and I think we might have figured something out.
What have you got?
Well, you know those creepy notes I get from Fangs von Suckovich?
Yes, the winged rat.
So, I think he's been leaving us clues on how to get through this lock. All of these dials have animals on them, and well, one of these notes has cheese and the other has a peanut, so I think that the foods on the note coincide with the animals on the dials. Does that make sense, Fuzmerelda?
Yes, so the cheese obviously would be the mouse, and what would eat elephant other than a shark? Or sorry, not elephant, peanut. Yo, peanut eat elephant. That's what I said. But we don't have the
Sharks
third
also
note.
eat elephants.
They're the natural predator. Everyone knows that.
In this world, they are.
Quilnius, did you happen to see any kind of little piece of paper anywhere?
Yeah. Oh, you mean like this? And he kind of like moves his, honey crystallized hand a little bit and opens it, his little paw, and you see another little bit of parchment filling it. I found it on the ground when I was chasing after someone a little suspicious. Wasn't sure what it was, but I didn't get a chance to read it.
Father Pondovich will just walk over and take it out of his hand, and then smooth it out on the ground.
All right, and with that, Father Pondovich, if you would like to read off what you have found.
In celebration of our love, a poem. My love, my life, I aurore you so. The moon to my earth, you are all my mirth. Your soft fur my refuge. I'd cut off my toe. For a taste of your lips, I'd peel my girth. That sounds very disturbing. The sweetest bear who must bear the burden of being so greatly loved by me. For I will love you like a guardian, a rare chicken in my coop, I foresee. That you will be the closest to my heart. If you deny me, I cry and wail, and from a cliff I will dart, but I will give you honey and a snail. Your eyes my sin, your roar my money, Irorna my yummy, funny, lovely, fluffy honey. Your schmoopsy-woo, Count Fangs von Suckovich.
Hold on, I just need a second. I can't breathe.
Are you okay?
I'm crying right now. Oh my god! Oh my god. Irorna looks mortified. Completely mortified.
Father Pondovich is going to flip over the note. His eyes go wide at the clumsy illustration of a stalk of bamboo, and he promptly eats the note.
Well,
What was on the back? The drawing.
Crunch, crunch, crunch.
Well, bamboo maybe? I mean, he's a panda?
that would make sense. I'd prefer that to take my mind off of what my ears are still processing.
Madagascar.
Just ignore it. Just Grr.
I don't.
Esmeralda, maybe the third one's a panda.
Oh, I was going to guess Madagascar lemurs.
Well, I mean, you're brilliant and, so smart. So maybe, yeah.
Well, is it on the dial?
A panda is on the dial, according to my notes.
We may have to go lemur free for this one.
Father Pondovich finishes eating the note and says, It looked like bamboo. It did not taste very good.
Ugh. Man, a terrible poet and he uses low quality paper. We know this guy's a monster. Well, we've got the pieces of the puzzle. Peanut, cheese, bamboo. And correspondingly, I suppose, elephant, and panda, and what eats cheese? What
Mouse.
is cheese? I've never... Oh,
yeah,
right,
so
that.
cheese is also really good, and like I make a delicious salad with goat cheese on top and like apples and like chopped nuts, and it's just so good. There's like a balsamic dressing that you sort of toss it in, and it's really delicious. Fuzmerelda, if you like wanted to come over for dinner or something at some point, you know, we could do that too.
That sounds wonderful. Yeah, I must say you were anxious at the start, but you're really coming into this role. You're in the zone now.
You're a proper criminal mastermind. Be proud.
Zone.
Been inspired by you and everyone else.
I think we've just brought out what was there all along, but we're stalling. Let's get inside that vault and get some honey that doesn't turn Bajilica into a statue.
When you mention that, Bajilica goes from like kind of like chill to like she takes like the Mortal Kombat stance and just like busts out her blades and just like roars loudly throughout the entire chamber.
Oh my god, she's so cool. All right, Victor is going to walk up to the dial and input those 3 animals in order and see what happens.
All right, you arrange the parchment in the proper order, going from the cheese to the peanut to the bamboo, and do the same with the dials. First a mouse, then an elephant, then the panda. Of that you hear a click and a deep hiss of steam, the grinding of gears, and slowly the vault door ticks open.
Victor is going to sort of lean around it, which he does terribly because he is still a polar bear and enormous. So he is very sneakily trying to peek around the corner, but in practice he just kind of shoves his shoulders around the gap and peeks in.
All right, peeking in, you can just faintly see what appears to be a massive smoke-filled room. Due to the smoke, however, it seems like you can't see much of what lays beyond without stepping further into the chamber. It immediately wafts out a thick, woody, almost incense-like scent mixed with the smell of honey that stoppers up your senses for a moment.
Be careful. We can't smell in here. And Victor is going to look to the others, motion for them to follow with a paw, and then gingerly step inside.
Irona's gonna stick close to Fuzmerelda and follow.
Same, yeah.
All right.
Honveg is going to, be the very last one, still looking around at the chamber they're leaving behind.
All right. With that, you depart, Quilnius, pausing for a moment and then scurrying in after you. You make your way into a much larger chamber, although not quite as large as the entrance you just were in the antechamber. You see enter a smoke-filled room, piles of treasure heaped against the walls, which themselves are carved, it seems, from enormous hexagonal honeycombs. And as you watch, in almost a fractal pattern, honeycombs within honeycombs, bees begin to crawl forth from the honeycombs, buzzing around quietly and pleasantly as the smoke wisps about them, calming them, muffling them. At the center of the room, surrounded by a hexagonal array of honeycomb racks, surrounded by more idly, happily buzzing bees, amidst a number of discarded bits of gold and jewelry and gems, you see standing a 10-foot-tall sculpture of a bee carved from a honey like amber, holding an enormous vat upon its back. From here, you can smell the strong, strong scent of honey wafting from that vent that you cannot quite see it from this angle. Each of the four corners of the room you see holds a brazier that constantly seeps smoke to the room, wafting throughout the chamber and into the honeycombs upon the walls, curling around the bees. And above the vat, you see rigged a strange and complex mechanism of greenish branches and twigs lashed together that is lashed at the top of the chamber that appears to be holding something in a large metal bowl. And as you sniff it, you get a faint, acrid, burning scent from that bowl up above. The complex mechanism is attached via a system of strings and pulleys, each formed of those same greenish stalks, that descend to a raised amber platform on the opposite side of the room, just above the massive exit from the treasury to the main gala floor beyond. You can see standing there atop the platform, its back to you, a tall, hooded figure cloaked in shadow. Slowly, at the sound of your entrance, it turns, rotating to meet you. Welcome, welcome, my friends. It is good to welcome you at last to my glorious triumph. The hood descends, and the cloak falls to the ground, revealing a large, slightly chubby bat, its wings curled around itself, now flaring out to the sides, its thick black eyebrows furrowed down, flashing its fangs in a terrible, unpleasantly greasy smile as it perches atop the back of a white-furred bird of a kind, white-feathered, an elegant heron that slowly brings its steely gaze up, its long, sharp beak glinting dangerously in the golden light. The bat's eyes wider and its nostrils flaring. I knew you would come to me, my love. Welcome to my triumph.
Fangs, what are you doing?
I am doing my job. I am. This is my ultimate plan. Hey! He flings his claws wide and blinks. Zvadin, where's my speech? Zvadin, the poem. I gave it to you. Where did you put it? The heron opens its beak. Count Strahd, I don't have this. I thought I gave it to you. You said you wanted to take another look at it, sir.
Would you like us to come back once you have that all sorted?
No, this is fine. This is okay. I have it under control. Everything is okay. It is fine. We will have to improvise. So
we don't mind waiting.
I am fine. I am well adjusted. I have been to improv classes. I know what I am doing. Thank you. So, welcome to the culmination of my villainous plan. You have been seeking to steal the honey, yes? I thought you might. I knew that you would come here ever since I saw your Craigslist ads. But you have been beaten by me, the great Count, and Master Thief, Fangs von Sukovich. The heron opens his beak. And Swaharin!
I love that fucking bird.
Father Popovich wants to know if these green branches look like bamboo.
They very much look like bamboo.
Is there any within reach?
No, they're currently all up, like, in pulleys on the ceiling, like, down to the platform where, like, Fangs and Swaharin are standing. And as you're kind of, like, eyeing and licking your lips, Fangs spreads his wings wide. So, you wish to know what my evil plan is?
Not really.
I really wish you would stop embarrassing me like this. Why don't you just tell us what you're doing?
This is all for us, honey. This is for us.
Just tell us your plan already.
Yes, my evil plan of evilness. You see, I want to destroy all of the honey in the Demon Plains of Dread. Yes, you see that vat hanging from the ceiling as it ascends towards the vat of honey below. You see, that bowl is filled with boiling amber. And once it is lowered into the vat of honey, it will be spoiled, all of it, and none of the guests will go home happy, and they will have to make do with their miserable dinner gift bags without any sweet things in their tummies. And then, when they return home, they will be hungry for sweet. And so, instead of honey, they will turn to my commercial empire of sweet fruits. And so, the Arabat enterprises of Count Fangs von Zukovich will rise to dominate the Ravenloft economy. This I've seen, and this is what will take place.
Bajilka lets out like this pained, angry roar that echoes throughout the chamber. She's gonna, I don't know what you want me to roll for it, but she wants to pick up Fuzzmerelda and do like basically a cannonball toss at him.
All right, things are starting to get spicy. I would like you to roll for Carnage, Bajilka.
Don't hurt her, though.
Ooh, a 2.
Is that a success?
That is a success. I have a 2 in bear right now. Or no, wait, I think
That
I
is
have
a
Success.
Yes, I've got a 2.
All right. With that, you pick up Fuzzmerelda, and just as Fangs gives the nod to Sawadin, pulls a lever, and the boiling amber begins to descend toward the vat of honey below. You pick up Fuzzmerelda, haul back with your massive abomination honey badger strength, and yeet her directly across the chamber. Fuzzmerelda, roll for thief to see how cleanly you land.
All right, and I'll note that I'm especially good at climbing. So even if I don't quite make it, I can climb up the side.
Perfect.
If it's a criminal roll, then yeah, that's a success.
Yep. All right. You go fling through the air, pull into a perfect spiral, latch your claws onto the platform, and somersault onto the top, mere feet away from Fangs, where he's perched upon Sawadin's back. The vampire bat lurches back. No! What are you doing? Get back!
So this
Sawadin, take her down.
So what's exactly holding this platform up? Would it be possible to like collapse them down into the floor so that the bamboo can start getting eaten?
So from here, it appears to be a platform built into the rest of the area. You can see that there's a bit of there is the lever that has been placed upon the ground, but it seems to be a mobile thing, set up by and connected by the number of bamboo shafts that have been structured and bound together. With proper maneuvering, it might be movable elsewhere if you're able to bring the mechanism down somewhere else.
I want to try to move the mechanism so that Pandovich can start munching into the bamboo.
All right. As you move to grab it, Sawadin is going to dart in with his beak. On guard! And stab at you directly toward the side. I will need you to roll. What are you going to do in response?
Oh god. I guess I'm going to try to slyly dodge out of the way.
All right. I would say roll for a criminal. Straight roll.
Straight roll for a criminal. That is a failure.
All right. Sawadin just catches you, cutting you off across the side. You yelp out in pain, kind of pull up your paw to suck on it as the sharp beak cut through it. Sawadin pushing you back, dancing you off toward the side as you find yourself teetering off the edge of the platform. Not so strong, are you now, huh? What's everyone else doing?
Irona, watching this, is freaking out about Fuzzmerelda, so she's going to try to distract Fangs and sort of focus his attention so that the others can get to work and stop this mechanism.
All right, how's she going to do that?
Fangs, listen, I know we've had some issues. Can you just come down here and talk to me for a second?
I will talk to you fully, my dear, once the plan is over and we are on a honeymoon, yes?
No, I really need to talk to you right now. I mean, you love me, don't you? Like, you could spare a second for me, right?
Make a roll for criminal with advantage. Actually, out of curiosity, are you people still wearing the flesh masks?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh yeah, I
Under the
Excellent.
rabbit mask, yeah.
Oh yes, of course. All right, what'd you get?
My stats, that's a 3, so that's a success.
All right. You watch as Fang's eyes widen. Oh, wonderful. Swaden, keep this one on the ropes. I am going to speak with my future betrothed. He takes wing, kind of awkwardly steps off of Berhaden's back, plops down on the edge of the platform, begins waddling over before taking wing and flapping through the air over the vat of honey, and then landing on the ground, holding up his wings as he waddles toward you. Irona, my love, what is it? What can Count Fangs do for you?
Well, she sort of like looks over at Fuzzmerelda and the others. I wrote you a poem, and I wanted to read it to you. I know your poetry is your thing, but I really love you, and I wanted to read a poem to you to express my love.
My dear, my love, I did not know that you were a lover of the arts. I would be enchanted to hear it. Please. Kind of waddles up and like looks up at you with like little like glistening eyes.
Oh man. Well, and she's like clears her throat. She's saying this loud for everyone. I really would like to get on with this, but I just need a moment to gather my thoughts. All right. She goes into her little purse and she pulls out a one of the scraps of paper, and like thinks for a second. How do I love thee, Fangs? Let me count the ways. I love thee to the depth and breadth and height my soul can reach. When feeling out of fright for the ends of bearing and grace, I love thee to the level of every tree's most quiet needs by moon and candlelight. I love thee freely as bears strive for the right. I love thee purely as they turn from praise. Guys, I love thee with the passion of my claws in my old bear griefs and with my bear childhood's faith. I love thee with a love I seem to lose with all the lost bear saints. I love thee with the birth, smiles, tears of all my life, and if the great cosmic bee chooses, I shall love thee better after death.
Fangs, it looks absolutely enchanted. It's actually like kind of crying, wiping little tears out of his little bat-like eyes, and then just kind of blinks at the end of it like, what?
Is there any way to like help Father Pandavich and Victor up to like towards the bamboo so that they can start eating it?
So while this is happening, Irona has Fangs basically captivated through the poem, so you're basically able to do whatever you'd like in the background. Fuzzmerelda continues to duel with Swahaden atop the platform.
Father Pandavich is gonna walk up to Bajilka and say, "Throw me."
Bajilka nods and takes Father by the collar and the butt and swings around. And is that another bear roll?
Yes, that'll be another carnage roll. Well, I guess technically muscle, but whatever.
Ooh. Oh wait, I've got a 2 in bear right now, so 3 I guess doesn't do it.
You launch Father Pandavich up into the air. Where were you aiming that, out of curiosity?
I know that he loves bamboo, so I was aiming for like bamboo, but specifically like bamboo near the structure that would like secure the vat of honey away from, or like get the bowl away from the vat of honey. Gotcha.
So with that, you fling Father Pandavich up, but Father find yourself swirling through there, and then just as your claws reach out, just barely missing it. Bajilka's aim just slightly off kilter as you find yourself suddenly flying through the air directly toward one of the braziers in the side of the room. Please roll for criminal.
Dear.
Uh-oh.
That is a success for criminal.
Thank God.
All right. You managed, as you fly through the air, you barely managed to evade the angle, twist yourself in the air just enough so that you don't land in the brazier. Pulling off to the side, and as you do, you're able to find yourself hanging just barely off of a bit of a bamboo stalk protruding from the mass of the mechanism.
Despite the fact that this is probably, the only thing that's keeping me aloft, I start eating the bamboo.
All right, and it is actually, in fact, connected to the rest of the mechanism. So as you start going, you keep gnawing the bamboo, beginning to haul yourself up, inch by inch, stalk by stalk, as you begin devouring the extent of it from the side. While this is happening, Fuzzmeralda, Victor, what are you doing?
Right. So, this whole apparatus that's lowering the honey into the amber, what's, regulating its rate of descent? Is there, a counterweight, or is it just being lowered bit by bit?
Yes, it appears to be a counterweight of sorts that's slowly descending as the mechanism turns.
All right, interesting. So Victor is going to take his wizard staff, which is full-sized but looks tiny in one of his hands, look at it, sigh, and then light it on one of the braziers. He is then going to walk over to where the counterweight is being suspended that's keeping the honey. Wait, no, that wouldn't. You know what? That would plunge it into the amber. That is the opposite.
Uh-oh.
The brains.
Brain.
Yeah, brains. He is going to be slightly more direct with it then. He is going to take this staff, say, I cast Fireball, and then hurl it like a javelin at Rahadan.
Swahadan, you mean?
Swahadan, yes.
All right, I will say roll for, in this case, this is a little iffy. I would say, this is kind of more of an attack, so I would say roll for bear.
Oh.
This is not very brainy.
Five. Nope.
It's seriously there and just barely glances off of Fuzzmeralda. She dodges another spike of Swahadan's beak. Fuzzmeralda, what are you doing?
I want to disengage from Swahadin and use the suction cup on my prosthetic leg to climb up to the top and try to just get a hold on the rope that is part of this mechanism lowering the thing of amber.
All right, I would say make a roll for criminal to attempt to evade Swahadan as you make your way up the wall to disengage.
To evade. That's a crit success.
Beautiful. You nimbly duck out of the way, and as he leans forward, you catch him on the brunt of your shoulder, and then catch him off weight, and then throw him off, flinging him off of the edge of the platform. He barely manages to bring his wings up in time to slow his descent, but as you do, you're already suctioning, cupping your way, just kind of plunging your way up the wall as you slowly begin to make your way up toward the top of the mechanism. While this has happened, Father Donovich, you reach the assembly of gears and other items, also carved from large stalks of bamboo. As you do, you notice that this you appear to have reached the section that controls the speed of the lowering mechanism.
Okay. My panda instincts slow down just long enough for my hacker instincts to kick in, and I want to see if there's any way that I can reverse the lowering of this urn of amber.
All right, I would say make a hacking check.
Okay. That is a success.
All right. Leaning forward, you kind of idly move to take a bit of bamboo that you've used to pick your teeth as you've been climbing. Take it out, and you find the exact right spot in the mechanism, and you plant it forward, jamming it right between two of the biggest gears. They shudder and smoke and then hiss to a halt, the mechanism stopping. At this exact moment, Ivona finishes her poem. Fang's eyes go wide and he frowns. Then he hears the mechanism shudder to a halt. He turns around. What? No! What are you doing? Get down from there!
Wrangler?
At this point, you reach the point in the ceiling just over where the vat of boiling amber is swaying.
Wrangler,
Yes,
can I do a flashback?
you may.
So as I see Fangs starting to turn around, I'm still in the lower level with Aurorna, and I got I'm flanking him essentially with her. So as he turns around, I remembered that when I was going through the abbot's chest of body parts, there was a really pretty necklace that I saw that was just shiny and beautiful. And I mean, obviously, as a lover of shiny things, I had to take it. So I made sure to take that on my way out as well. I would like, as Fangs turns and presents himself to me, to smile and reveal the symbol of Ravenkind.
All right, you pull out the holy symbol, glistening, the platinum spiral of the sun surrounding the central ruby red gem. Move 1 point from Baron to criminal.
This means I'm at 6 criminal now.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh yes.
You watch this for a moment. Fangs eyes it, and then scowls, looking offended. What is this supposed to be?
Son.
But I do not. Do you think that I am one of those damn bloodsuckers? I am a vampire bat, not a vampire. I am vegan. I have never hurt an animal in my life.
Oh, here we go.
I am all of the Batmentarians that you can think of. I am very offended.
I still command it to burst light into his face.
You do, and as you do, you reach 6 criminal, correct?
I do.
So with that, Bajilka now feels a sudden urge surrounding her thoughts. She realizes, why should she have to share this honey with all these little ugly bears when she could just take it for herself?
Oh boy.
Oh God.
The rest of them don't know that, though, do they?
We don't.
They do not know. So what does Bajilka do?
Well, Bajilka flashes the light in his face, trying to blind him so that he can't
Yes.
command.
He pulls back for a moment, blinded by the shining light. Just, get that thing out of my face. My eyes are fairly sensitive.
I'm actually going to toss it to Aurorna so she can hold it up in his face.
Ivona will catch it very suave and hope that Fuzzmeralda saw, and she'll hold it up in front
I am
of Fang.
nocturnal. How do you do this to me? This is very rude.
Oh, my arm is stuck like this. I can't. I'm just gotta hold it here, I guess.
Put it away. It is very uncomfortable. I do not like it.
I can't move my arm. It's stuck.
All right, so what's Bajilka doing?
Bajilka is going to. She's going to go ahead and check out and see what Father Pandovich is doing.
All right,
she just wants to
across the room then. You finish. Sorry.
I was just going to say she's just overseeing what Pandovich is doing to if he's securing the honey and getting it down, and it's just kind of being there for support.
All right. With that, Father Pandovich, did you successfully jammed the mechanism, and now you're able to just kind of happily eat your way around the bamboo. The trouble for the moment momentarily paused. Esmeralda, you find yourself perched via suction directly over the bowl of swinging boiling amber that has been halted for now. What would you like to do?
Oh yeah, Fuzzmeralda is going to pull up by the string that bowl of amber, and if she can get her claws around it, she's going to just crash it harmlessly against the side of the room.
All right. You said it's swinging atop of the long rope that is sent, and it smashes against the side, overturning and spilling it directly down onto the ground below.
Not into the honey.
Yes, not into the honey. With that, what is Victor doing?
Victor is looking at this and kind of wondering where his life went wrong, but After that, is Father Pandovich eating his support at the moment? Like, what is about to keep him from falling to his death?
Yes.
Ah, that's unfortunate. All right, so Victor is going to look. You said this room was a treasure hoard of sorts, right?
Oh yes, it's full of it. Gold, jewels, strange scepters, crowns, artifacts, jewelry, whatever you want.
Victor is going to dig through the big pile of treasure and attempt to find the softest thing that he can locate to see if he can make sure Father Pandovich falls on something less murdery.
All right, I would say roll for criminal.
Alrighty. One. Okay. Thank goodness.
All right. You dig under a massive mound, pushing aside several crystalline swords that for some reason flare up with a beautiful beam of sunlight when you pick them up, discarding them as evidently useless. I pull up from underneath it a massive plush beanbag chair made of glorious purple fabric, perfectly maintained, a bit dusty perhaps, and inset with numerous jewels, bits of gold and silver inlaid into the fabric, and very, very plush.
Father, land on this. Just carefully. I want to take this home afterward.
All right, and as you watch, you layer it down, slamming onto the ground just as Father Pandovich begins to tottering, and then the bamboo snaps, and the panda goes soaring down through the air toward the beanbag chair. And as this happens, you hear a ear-piercing shriek emanating from the platform as beating his wings. So Swahadin takes the air once more. Get away from the Count! And dive bombs Irorna and Bajilka, shrieking like a banshee.
Bajilka's if Bajilka isn't too far away from Fangs and Aurora, she'll ignore Swahadin, but if not, she'll engage.
You're fairly close to them, I think.
Okay, yeah. So seeing Swahadin come through, Bajilka will brace herself, and upon impact, we'll let him impact with her, but then just like start tearing into him viciously.
All right, roll for carnage, I suppose. Actually, no. First roll for muscle, and then roll for carnage to deflect the attack and then attack back.
So I don't deflect the attack with a 3 because I only have a 2 in bear right now.
How do you have a 2 in bear if you hit a 6 with criminal?
Oh, I'm sorry. I misread that. I think I wrote this down wrong.
Yeah, if you have a 6 in criminal, you should have a 0 in bear.
And yes, I have a 0 in bear. Or 1 in bear, yeah. So yes.
If you have 1 in bear, they all have to add up to 6.
Well, then I have a 0 in bear. Because I
know. No.
Yeah, I'm purely criminal at this point, apparently.
All right. In that case, as you move to betray and are unable to deflect the blow, Irorna, Swahadin is coming straight at you. What do you want to do?
She's going to try to blind Swahadin with the holy symbol of Ravenkind and sort of deflect him away. Maybe if he can't see, he can't land right.
For Swahadin, sure. I would say roll for bear.
That is a success.
All right. So Swahadin comes barreling toward you, and you turn toward him just in time. How do you deflect him?
She's going to try to hold the symbol right up in his beady little face and blind him.
He suddenly pulls up and shrieks again, flapping his wings as the light suddenly swirls into his eyes. He veers off course suddenly and crashes into the side. Fangs sputtering, his eyes...
That's for messing with Esmeralda!
Fangs sputtering, quickly gets up, and Swahadin groaning. You will pay for this! This is unacceptable, I cannot! You hear Swahadin slowly getting up. as you turn and Father Pandovich lands on the pillow. At Fuzmeralda still clinging to the ceiling, Bajilka turning to the side. You watch as Swahadin and Fangs slowly begin to get up, looking battered and bruised. Fangs grunting, You will not. This is my victory, my bride.
Get out of here. You're not wanted anymore. And if you will not, you are a bat. We are bears. This is a warning, but next time, I will eat you. And it will be delicious.
Oh, thanks, Victor.
No problem. He does look, like, honestly, like all that leathery wing meat. Oh, I'm just drooling thinking about it.
Fangs looks up at you with wide eyes and then squeaks. And you hear Swahadin, Boss, we should get out of here. This isn't good. There'll be next time, boss, I promise, I swear. Fangs scowls, waddling over and then flaps up, hops on Swahadin's back. Very well, but do not forget, this is not the last time that you will see Fangs von Sakovich. I will return for my bride and my honey. And slowly, as Swahadin struggles to lift the two of them off of the ground, vanishes up into the antechamber and out of sight.
Well, no wonder you hate him.
Isn't he just so obnoxious? I mean, with the vegan thing, like 2 minutes into conversation, we get it.
The accent. Who talks like that?
I don't know. I mean, it's just, he sounds like a cartoon character.
Not like us. Sensible bears. Sensible boys.
In the background, Father Pandovich stops chewing on the bamboo briefly at the mention of vegans and then continues.
Sorry. I mean, I like you a lot, Father Pandovich. I like so much, but he's like the annoying kind, you know? Like the one that you eat at like a juice bar that just doesn't shut up.
They have bars made of juice? That sounds delicious.
Well, it's not made of juice. You just like, you get juice there. Like they have one at my gym next to the Burgomaster's mansion. It's super cute.
At this point, you all hear like the clicking of a gun.
Oh no.
All right, stay here. Enough of this funny business, stay. All right, all of you against the wall there, say.
Bajilka?
You got me to where I needed to be. Oh, I'm just gonna take this honey here, see?
This is almost certainly going to fail because I'm not very good at bear right now, but Fuzmeralda is like very high up and wants to fall on him.
Fall on who?
Bajilka.
The person who just pointed a gun at all of us.
It's Bajilka,
gotcha.
yeah.
Sure. In that case, Fuzmeralda, you are still on the ceiling up ahead. If you'd like, you can try to maneuver yourself into position without Bajilka detecting you, so you can drop down.
Sure, yeah.
Roll for thief for me to sneak surreptitiously into position.
That's a success on the criminal.
All right, you line yourself up perfectly. You prepare yourself, stealing yourself as Bajilka shepherds the others.
Listen here, see.
Your shot.
I appreciate all the hard work you all put in here, see? But now this bird's gotta fly. Or bear, honey badger, whatever parts me. Listen here. Don't think I don't appreciate what you did for me tonight. And this honey's gonna be mine, see? I'm gonna enjoy all of it.
Did you swallow a New Jerseyan? Is that what, like, is that
You
ate
one of the skulls. You ate one of the skulls. You should just spit that out. It's probably not good for you.
Quiet, you! And I point my gun at Irona.
Hey!
Now you're not gonna give me any trouble, see?
What is this about?
It's about one thing and one thing only, that delicious honey.
we're splitting it 5 ways. Like, what are you going to do with all of it?
I'm gonna eat all of it, see? 5 ways, 1 way down my throat.
Or raise it up.
Jack! Jack!
Yep, all right. I respect
The abbot
it.
gave me 5 esophaguses, so I'm gonna enjoy it 5 ways.
More power to you.
Father Pondovich looks up at the ceiling.
Esmeralda, the moment is ripe. What would you like to do?
Yeah, Esmeralda gestures to the others to, like, I don't know, keep him in place, like distract him, and then falls. Full belly flop pose.
All right. I would say roll for bear with advantage, as you did position yourself perfectly.
Uh-oh. That's a failure.
All right. You soar through the air, not quite contacting exactly, but glancing off to the side and belly flop off Vigilka just long enough to spill her off balance and give an opening to anyone else who wants to take it. You can see her gun goes clattering to the ground, and though she's not down, for the moment, she's disarmed.
Ow, fuck, ow, ow, ow.
Ivorna's going to try to grab the gun.
All right. What's everyone else doing?
Victor is going to see. Well, might as well use the size advantage for something. He is going to see if he can, like, sort of hurl her into the vat of amber.
All right. And what's Bajilka doing?
Bajilka, noticing that the gun is out of her hand, she's gonna run for the gun.
Gotcha. And just as a brief clarification for Victor, the vat is a vat of honey. There was a bowl of amber that was being lowered into it.
Never mind. In that case, he is going to try and go full Nelson with this, so that.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So that.
All right. So I will need. This is going to be a lot. Irorna, if you could please make me a. This would be a criminal check to get to the gun quickly. Actually, no. This would be. If you're moving quickly, I would say that's probably, in this case, roll for bear together. But this is a contested check. Whoever gets lower wins. Although, at the same time, Victor, roll for bear. If you succeed, then Bajilka has disadvantage.
All right. That's a failure.
I rolled a 1!
Damn.
And what's Bajilka got?
3.
All right. With that, Irorna dives forward just at the same moment as Bajilka, as Victor goes rushing by and glances off, missing just barely, but just enough to distract Bajilka for a moment. And as Irorna launches forward and grabs the gun, picking it up, it's now in your possession. What do you do?
She's going to point it at Bajilka and tell her to sit the fuck down!
All right, doll. No need to get aggressive here.
I didn't know she could swear.
I'm so sorry, was that too much?
Oh,
little bit.
no. That's great. Good job.
Yeah, sit down!
In the background, Father Pondovich would like to pull down a large section of bamboo in such a way that, like, most of it clonks down onto Bajilka's head, and that the rest of it is still positioned so that he can keep eating it.
All right.
I bet he's all sitting down during this too, right? Just completely seated.
Just sitting.
As you do so, Irorna, you feel a sudden tug on your forearm by something, and you look down and you see Quilnius. He looks up and murmurs, "Get her against the front wall toward the gala chamber. I'll summon her getaway car, and that'll take care of her. I just need you to line her up on that side."
Okay, you got it. And she's gonna point the gun and sort of gesture for her to get up and walk in the direction of the wall.
Bajilka will comply, but as she's doing so, she's scoping the scene out to see if there's a getaway that she could make.
All right. Slowly looking around, you only see the back exit that you came through, as well as the large vault door that exits into the main gala floor, but that appears to be locked.
She'll comply just enough, but right before getting in, in the exact spot that they want her to get hit by falling bamboo, she is going to try and lunge at Irona and grab the gun.
All right. As you do so, as you're slowly getting to position, Quilnius moves to something hanging around his neck that you didn't quite notice at first. A small whistle fashioned in the shape of a falcon. As Irona ushers Bajilka toward the vault door on the southern edge of the treasury, Quilnius lifts it to his mouth and blows hard. You don't hear anything come out. But a moment later, there's a rumbling before beginning to quake. At that exact moment, you suddenly hear a trembling explosion from the exterior part of the temple. At that exact same moment, Bajilka lunges forward, reaching for the gun. And the entire front wall of the treasury is torn away as a massive bird sweeps through and shatters it like clay, instantly crushing Bajilka underneath its bulk. It raises its beak to the sky and crows loudly as Bajilka's fleshy mishmash of parts struggles underneath its clawed talons. You can see on its back a saddle and a place where the vat can easily be nestled. Quilnius yelps, Get on it, let's get out of here before they try to stop us.
Irona will get onto the saddle and she'll grab some sort of jewel off the floor on the way.
All right, you're able to scoop up whatever you can carry. With that, working together with the rock, you're able to sweep the vat up onto its back. Is anyone else following?
Help me get on Irona. Esmeralda's sort of splayed out on the floor from belly flopping from a high distance onto a stone floor.
Oh yeah, I'll help you. She'll go and help. She'll get back off and help Esmeralda up on there and hold her very close.
As they're doing that, can Bajilka reach out to try and grab one of them?
At this point, I would say, roll for bear. You need to roll a 1, just because it's pretty difficult at this point. But I'll allow it.
Oh no, the complete opposite of 1. The complete opposite of 1.
You lash out weakly from beneath the rock's talons, and just barely miss as Irona and Esmeralda go fleeing past. Victor and Father Pondovich, you look at the room and you see party guests looking at you with wide eyes. The tall, dark vampire. You see the skeletons looking at you with wide eyes. You recognize the old ladies. You see Exathanter wearing a fabulously long, flowing purple gown. Looks at you with what? Wait. Weren't you meant to be my plumbers? What are you doing there? And then the rock caws and shrieks for you to get on its back.
We'll send you a check. Make sure you can get that faucet installed. And for the rest of you, hello. This has been a Honey Heist. If you wish to inquire of us further, we'll be in Palm Springs. Have a night.
These were fursuits.
The rock flaps its wings and then soars like a jet plane, not through the front entrance of the Amber Temple, but this time through the left wall, making an entirely new and redundant hole as it explodes to the side, leaving the party behind. You hear a roaring shriek behind you as slowly hovering through the air, you see a silvery brown fox levitating in the air, shrieking, No! It's not to this party. It was supposed to go all well. This is not. And flinging massive balls of fire, massive chains of sprinkling lightning that sear through the sky. But the rock soars, blasting it with gales of wind. The little fox goes spiraling, head over paw through the air, before landing atop the temple and shaking its fist angrily toward you as the rock soars serenely through the air until you can see the temple vanishing far below and the mountain peak coming up.
I would like to note that I never said I was getting on the rock, so in my head, Father Pondovich is still sitting there eating bamboo.
The second they're out of reach, Irorna gives Fuzmerelda the hand of jewels and asks if she'd like to go get some smoothies at the juice bar sometime.
Oh, absolutely. I've never seen a poem used to distract so well. Yeah, Esmeralda's 100% into it.
Oh, thank God.
All's well that ends
Fuzmerelda.
So,
Bajilka gets up off the ground, having been stomped by a rock, and sees Father Pandovich still sitting there eating the bamboo. And she is actually going to go ahead and sit beside her and kind of ask for one of the bamboo stalks.
Father Pondovich is going to offer a stalk of bamboo and say, "If we find any honey, you can have it. I don't even like honey."
Thanks, doll. And Bajilka will eat bamboo with Father Pandovich in the Amber Temple.
And so, as the rock soars off toward the peak of Mount Gacchus, where Maliel Vinclaw is waiting, another successful honey heist comes to a close. Congratulations, and good job, everyone. Thus ends our adventure today.
Woohoo! I hope this is a good sign for Twice Bitten.
Thank you very much, everybody, especially everybody in chat.
Yeah, thank you all for coming.
I hope you enjoyed yourselves. I hope you got sticky with us.
Always.
I've been sticky.
My goodness. And since we promised to do so, here you are, Wouter Schmal.
I don't think they can hear us.
Yep. I gotta work out a better way of signaling Zio at the credits because I had a whole spiel I was gonna do, but oh well. Oh, is people can still hear us?
Oh.
Lol.
It says lag.
Production value, everyone. All right, credits are rolling, but so ends today's tale. If you can hear me, I hope you all enjoyed today's session, and I hope you will join us in 2 weeks' time for the premiere of Curse of Strahd, Twice Bitten, our 100% rules as written, character, and roleplay-driven journey through Bearovia. You can find more information to come on the Curse of Strahd subreddit and in the Twice Bitten channel of the Curse of Strahd Discord. You can also follow us on the official Curse of Strahd Twice Bitten Twitter at Twice Bitten COS for character reveals. Lol.
Yeah.
Fucking Zio.
There.
All right, we're gonna have to workshop this.